testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321321. That's staple to 321321.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Friday afternoon.
Mason, Ireland, best show on the radio.
Here we go. Friday, June 13th edition. Friday the 13th. It was so scary, Mace didn't come to work today. Here to Johnny I. Brian Kamenetzky and the great Marcas Grant from NFL Network are sitting in. We'll get you ready for Dodgers, Giants, Angels baseball, NBA Finals. Game number 4 tonight. Plus, I'm sure we'll talk off-season Lakers thanks to our friends at Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. Fun and frivolity. Marcus will work in NFL. Come on now. Here's how we do it, yo. Producer Laura's here. Producer Brian Cohen. The social team in the back. Let's go. Mason and Ireland. Yo, Friday afternoon, the biggest show on the radio with Marcus and Brian Kamenetzky right now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's going on, man? They let me have the keys today.
I know.
This is wild.
And I gotta be honest with you, I was kind of excited about that.
I know it's so. Marcas Grant, Brian Kamenetzky, information in Ireland today. Yeah, when producer Laura sent out the text, just kind of updating us on what's going to happen, it said, Marcus, can you be in the A chair if you don't mind? And you thumbs that up. You thumbed up immediately.
Fast.
I mean, just immediately.
He was
I
like,
am not offended.
the keys. So I need to address the elephant in the room because I've worked with both of you individually, never together. So somebody was like, yo, who's working tomorrow? You know, who's covering for both Mason and Ireland? And I said, oh, Marcas and BK. They're like, ooh. And I was like, ooh, why was it ooh? So I did not know you guys had done a show before together.
A show.
And Marcus, you were like, yeah, it was a... Yeah.
Look,
I was like elephant in the room that I did not know about.
I was new here. I think it might have only been the second or third show I'd ever done here. So you guys weren't willing to trust me with the keys to the car. Like, I get that. That's fine. I'm not upset about that. So you and I did a show, and the YouTube chat said it was the worst show in the history of the station.
Wow.
Yeah.
Worst
show in the history of the station.
I don't know what that's based on. Like, this person has sat through all of them.
First of all,
right?
YouTube.
Thousands of shows this guy has sat. I mean, like.
YouTube is like a step above Reddit. So, like, let's not, you know. What I mean?
But
Just saying.
I've heard some disasters on this station before. Just god-awful radio.
Who?
I mean,
I want to know.
I mean,
Spill the tea.
Some days when John and Steve are phoning it in.
Wow.
Or like,
Hey, hold up. Don't come at my guys.
Kathy's off doing stuff.
And before you took over the show, of course.
Oh, so it's Greg's fault?
Obviously. Right.
Oh, okay.
The Bergman solo shows, like Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's getting shots fired.
Andy and I have, I'm sure, done some god-awful work on this play. There have been, my point is, like, there have been thousands of shows on this. You want to say that one that Marcus and I did together where we're introducing ourselves before, never seen each other, that it was bottom third?
Sure.
Bottom fifth? I can live with that, but the worst.
Although my thing is, be great or be terrible, but be memorable. And apparently we were memorable for all the wrong reasons for someone.
I mean, they're going to remember you guys.
For someone, yeah.
Just
absolutely.
saying.
So anyway, this is our redemption tour today.
And we did switch chairs. Maybe that's part of, like, I know how to drive, but it's like a road trip. I'm happy to let somebody else do it.
The ball comes off the bat differently over on this side of the table.
It does. It's a lot more pressure.
We'll have to figure this one out real quick. So after I figure out how to, mute things.
There are buttons.
We're already off to a bad start here.
Don't be Cappy, okay? Cappy or Ireland always have some type of audio in the background.
We're already off to a great start. We have a lot to do today. I know we got Wheel of Questions. Brian, it's your game a little bit later on today, I believe.
That's right.
All right.
BK.
Laura, what did you forget to tell me?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Yes, BK today. I'm looking over here to the left, and I see the board with the teams for All-Star Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like... Oh, no, you and I are on opposite sides of this thing.
Yes.
BK.
We're on the winning side, Brian. AK. BK.
So I am on Team Cappy. I see Mario, Travis, Momo, Bergie, AK, Kasim, Emily, and Lindsay Baseball on one side. The other side, Brian Cohen, Kirk Morrison, Jorge, DeAndre, BK, DeMarco Farr, Sedano, who may or may not be here. I have no idea. Funchy, and then Laura, who you are undefeated in these things, correct?
I mean, listen, undefeated, yes, but not because I really contributed. I think it just in spirit I contributed.
No.
So,
You're a
yes.
locker room. You're a good
Yes,
locker room guy.
definitely good
clubhouse
locker room.
presence.
Because we've had 3 games. The first one I didn't play. I was here. I was running the board. But I showed up. It was my birthday, actually, on the first one. And then the next 2, I was part of the winning teams. First, second year, I didn't play because of my knees. Last year, I did get to hit. Every time I went up to bat, I got a hit. Might not have been great, but I got a hit. And we won. So, lucky charm maybe. I don't know.
So I know everybody's sort of wondering, like, I think the elephant in the room is me because I have never played in one of these things. And I know that my skills have been disparaged so far.
Are you good?
That's the thing is I don't even know anymore. It's been
What do you mean you don't know?
It's been so long since I've played. Like, I don't know. Like, I was a good glove, decent speed. I'll give you some hustle. I was an okay bat. But I haven't, like, swung a softball bat in anger in, like, 20 years. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to be.
Okay, see, let me teach you guys something. If you don't know if you're good, you got to say, nah, man, I'm great. And then you own it, Marcus. You just got to sound like you got it.
All right.
And then that's how it works.
Okay.
But now you kind of killed
I've already sort of blown that.
Yeah.
Too late. But like so much of this is just based on, obviously Kirk Morrison is a former professional athlete. So
Yes.
True.
He's in a different category.
He did suck last year, though.
He did. but I've seen him play, and he's had
good.
some good
3
moments.
home runners. Yeah.
DeMarco, again, former professional athlete.
Makes sense.
DeAndre, I don't know if he's good.
He was a college
I mean,
athlete.
good college athlete.
very
and
athletic.
And he's young.
That is
just
true.
That automatically, you got a lot of, we'll call it, veteran presence on the other side.
I mean,
Aside from
Kasim.
Mario, who I think is 93 years old.
Kasim is like 20. How old is Kasim?
I don't know.
Oh, he doesn't. No,
It's
I'm
like-
asking the
is
kids
it
in the back, but
child
apparently
labor?
they're not
Like-
paying attention.
Like Parker, Graham? I mean, Graham's back. You guys don't know? They're not sure?
They don't know. They obviously don't know how to use a mic either when we talk to them. I mean, come on now.
This is going to be interesting, though, because I think these are these teams are crafted with 2 different strategies in mind. Mace's strategy was to win the game.
Right.
Damn, I just got called out by Graham and the kids in the back. He comes in, he's like, hey, we're paying attention. We're laughing at the jokes. I'm like, okay, sir. Okay.
Well, somebody's laughing at the jokes. That's a
already
good start.
not the worst show in
That's
station
already.
history.
We've already
Half
moved
the
up.
segment in, and we're already better than we were.
We have already moved up. That's fantastic. So Cappy, I think I think he just wanted to have a group that's going to get along, right? We're just going to go. We're about there. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
This is
He
chemistry.
said it's all about locker room, which
Locker
means
room.
we're going to suck.
But you know what? I mean, I heard the comparison. I was listening to a little bit of Travis and Andy Kamenetzky earlier, and I think this is when they started sort of comparing the Lakers to the 04 Pistons, right? The Laker team with Shaq and Kobe and Karl Malone and Gary Payton that were supposed to just steamroll through everybody. And then, people weren't giving the Pistons their due. And Detroit ends up stealing a championship from them. So maybe that's the thing.
So
Cappy's trying to build.
in this analogy, is Andy like Chauncey Billups?
Yeah, I think he is. He's going to be hitting big shots and making big plays. I don't know where I fit in. I'll call myself a Ben Wallace type, just a hustle, gritty sort of.
Should grow the same beard.
Yeah, just.
I just like people come out and watch, and it's super fun and an engagement. But like even Travis Travis played college baseball, but it's not the same athlete he was back then.
I will never go at Travis. I was going to say something, but I
He's
love
good.
me some
No,
Travis, so.
I would draft Travis ahead of 97% of the station.
I mean, he was drafted second on
Right.
Cappy's team, so.
But it's like none of us is what we once were.
I was never anything.
Which
so.
is I think sort of what that's the entertainment factor in this whole thing, right? That's why people
Right.
watch.
And here's the thing. The number one goal is not to win. It's not to have fun. I mean, that is a goal, right? Both of them.
But it's not number
Not
one.
number
It's
one.
not number 1 or number 2. You guys know what the number 1 goal is?
Just don't get hurt.
Exactly.
And I
Just
failed.
to not get hurt.
The last time I played in this game, failed at that 3 steps out of the box in my first at bat.
What
What happened?
Ground ball. I had a game plan. I'm not going to try to pull the ball. I'm going to take everything, up the middle, the other way. Did a little BP, practice that. Eyes got big, swung, ground ball to third base. Now I got to run. And, running being a relative term, but like sprinting. And 3 steps, boom, basically tore my hamstring.
Oh.
Yikes.
At least it didn't
black the next day.
No.
It was bad.
Yeah. That's brutal.
So I failed.
All right, well.
Well, there's a start to that show.
But here's the thing: if you make it through an inning this year, you have already exceeded.
I finished the game.
Oh,
I completed the game, but I did not move with agility for the rest. I was walking for most of the rest of my time.
Yeah, that is a fear, right? Of like coming home like on crutches or wrapped up and iced up or something like that. That is not. That's not the goal for this thing.
We're too, let's say, mature for those things.
Mature. Is that the word we're using?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's July 11th. That should be a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll talk about it plenty between now and then.
It'll be in West Covina.
That's right.
Sportsplex. Yeah.
Sportsplex. I do, because Cappy will be around later, right? I do want to pick his brain.
On how and why.
On his roster construction here and his strategy for putting this thing together.
Dangerous place to go inside.
You know what? I've seen Being John Malkovich. I know how this goes. So, that should really be interesting. Meanwhile, for guys who are actually good at the bat and ball sports, the Dodgers, a big one this weekend with the San Francisco Giants. I'll say this. Yesterday, I was at Disneyland roaming around. There's a lot of black and orange at Disneyland.
Ugh.
A lot of folks wearing black and orange at the happiest place on earth, which means I suspect there will be a lot of black and orange at Chavez Ravine over the next few days. But, Brian, this is a big series. The Dodgers have a 1-game lead. They're going through this death march of a schedule right now. And we were talking before the show that for everything that has the fans agitated and seems sort of bad, the Dodgers are in a pretty good spot right now.
They've got the 3rd best run differential in the National League. They're 13 games over 500. They're in first place. They've got all this stuff. It's like, I remember, I have a basic rule going back to, when I was a kid. Like, you don't freak out about baseball until July.
Okay.
You just don't, because everything can change. One good month, all of a sudden a team that's kind of scuffling, 10 games over 500 in a month, and they're right back now, and you'd call them wild card contenders or whatever it might be. I remember last year there was this I came in to do a show, and all I had heard about was the Dodgers, this or that, whatever. They're terrible. What is going on? Are we going to finally fire? I was all right, I'm going to look at the standings. Mm-hmm. There were 7 games over 500. It was May. I was what are we doing here? And the Dodgers are doing fine. The entire team is on the IL. Yeah. Assuming those guys come back, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So, I actually find this version of the Dodgers a little more interesting to watch and more fun. You really see, how they're putting it together, and you value, all of a sudden, Pajas and, what he's doing, and the season Will Smith is having, because they're not doing it exactly the way to be in first place that you would have predicted at the beginning of the season, where they just steamroll everybody. This, to me, is more interesting, and they're still in first place.
They're still in first place. For all of the that everybody's had over this team, they are still in first place. Again, 3 big ones against the Giants. They got 4 big ones against the Padres next week. We'll have plenty of Dodger talk as we go through the show. But do they decide to maybe ramp up a big arm earlier than anticipated? We can dive into that in just a little bit. But for you out there, do you want to play in ESPN LA's 2nd annual listeners game? You can visit ESPNLA.com now for your chance to secure a roster spot. Don't miss a chance to play for either Team Travis or Team DeMarco. Visit ESPNLA.com today, thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Norman. Just getting started here. MG, BK, Information Ireland here, ESPN 710.
After another gritty performance by the
Waba Grill.
What's our secret? It's our sauce.
Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Waba Grill. It's unexpected. It's delicious. It's saucy. It's for you.
And Chumba Casino and Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. Meanwhile, Sedano and Cap will continue until 6 p.m. on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles and the Listen Live tile on the all-new ESPN LA app. The NBA Finals on 710 ESPN.
Want to sell your home because you're downsizing? Call Seller's Advantage. Want to sell the home that you've inherited? Call Seller's Advantage. Want to sell your home and take advantage of your equity? Call Seller's Advantage. No matter what your reason for selling, Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer and can close in as little as days or as long as you need. Don't worry about the condition of your home. You don't need to pay for costly repairs because they buy as is. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes for over 20 years, focusing on helping sellers get the highest offer possible without having to get it ready for the market or deal with agents or pay commissions. They make selling easy and painless. They'll even offer you a $20,000 advance for moving and other expenses. If it's time to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer. Call 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-397-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? Just 9 miles from downtown LA and near the 710 freeway, it's completely reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and upgraded amenities. We're also home to California's largest card room jackpot ever, $3.7 million. New players score $30 in match play when they say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Come see what everyone's talking about.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GGR 001291. GAR 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
You're checking out the Waba Grill Lunch Hour here on Mason and Ireland.
Sup, people?
Why do they grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins, fresh steamed vegetables, and signature sauces. Download the Waba Rewards app today or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you. Just like Mason and Ireland are for you.
Tell me if I'm weird here. Don't answer that question.
You're weird.
I knew that was coming.
The Waba Grill Lunch Hour rolls on right now.
One, crisscross on a Friday is always dope. What was that? You playing like a bop earlier, like right before this. What was that you were playing?
That little nice jingle?
Yeah, like was it Sabrina Carpenter or something like that? What was that? Yeah, like this, right?
This is the hit of the year, right?
It's like this is the song of the summer, right? Song of the summer. What?
Okay, so I swear we did not put these guys up for it. They really thought that this was the song coming back from break. You guys didn't know this was a commercial.
No, I wasn't, because I wasn't listening to the words. I was just hearing like the beat and the bass line in the background. I'm like, okay.
So when we heard this as a commercial, Mason and I, we instantly locked eyes and we're like, what the hell? And then we're like, oh crap, it's a commercial. It's a Total Wine commercial. And we came back and we're like, dude, that could totally be a hit. And Ireland thinks we're nuts. He's like, you guys are idiots. He's like, that's not true. But you guys thought it was a hit.
It's a jam. It's a legit, like I could be
Bobby.
I could be at the beach,
Right, that's what I was exactly thinking. I was like, oh, because I don't know what the youths are listening to these days. And so on their beat boxes and stuff when they go down to the beach. So like if that was like currently a top 40 hit and I just hear that sound, like I'm like, oh, okay, it's not a song I've heard. But is that a good ad? Because like I'm so into the song
that you're not paying attention to
I'm not paying attention to what it's for.
Yeah. Because most people don't listen to the lyrics of songs, right? You just like get into the beat and you're like bopping along and like, you're not necessarily focused on like what the product is or what it is you're trying to sell me. Right?
Total Wine. All right. I mean, I don't know.
I do enjoy their stores though. Their stores are very.
They're so great. You find random stuff that I never thought I would find.
That's the and more.
There it is.
It's true.
Sort of like, the beyond after the bed and bath,
It's everything. Bed and bath is one thing, and beyond is literally everything else.
So much more. So, so you got Total Wine and you have more. The whole thing there.
We love it.
There it is. Speaking of more, the Dodgers getting a lot out of Shohei Ohtani. The one thing they have not gotten out of him is pitching, but the machine is cranking up. Had a third simulated game not long ago through 44 pitches. And Dave Roberts sort of hinting that maybe Shohei could come back and pitch before the All-Star break. Obviously, they need his bat. It's a huge part of what makes this team successful. They would love to get his arm. Is there a risk in running him back too soon? Or is look, they need arms. I mean, there's no argument there.
Whatever. And I don't mean disrespect to some of the other guys that are on the DL, Tony Gonsolin or, I'm sorry, IL, using the old, dating myself here. But, there are certain guys that if you ran them back a little early, you'd be like, I don't really approve, but I'm just going to look over here and pretend I didn't see you pitching that guy a week earlier than maybe he should. You do not do that with Shohei Ohtani. Mm-hmm. I saw the quote from Dave Roberts, I think it was, or it might have been Andrew, we're doing this we need him to be able to pitch for the next decade.
Yeah.
Not this week, not next week. You cannot do anything because if you really do it wrong, now you're taking him out of the lineup as a hitter as well. And that won't fly.
That's the part that is the huge risk, which was, I think, always the fear for the Angels for all those years, that you lose him as a pitcher, then you also lose his bat. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're the Angels, you're sort of already kind of playing on the margins to begin with. If you're the Dodgers, you need Shohei Ohtani to truly be a World Series contender. I think that's why they have been cautious, and I think that the thing that Robert said about him coming back before the All-Star break was kind of the first time you've heard anything like that. Because I feel like when everybody's healthy, when Tyler Glasnow is back, whenever that's going to be, when Blake Snell is back, Gonsolin, Shohei's a nice piece to fit in there, but he means so much that you cannot risk
to everything. It's as a quality pitcher, he's still, you line up that, put Saki in there, put all those guys. Yeah. You could still make an argument that Shohei is at worst the third best of those arms. He's just that good a pitcher. But it's the bat, and quite frankly, he's the vibe around the team too. If you knew that Shohei was going to be gone for a month, it's not that the Dodgers would suddenly suck, because they wouldn't. But the whole thing around, the excitement around the team, the energy around the team, the swagger that the team has, whatever, it all changes if Shohei's not there. And not that the Dodgers should be thinking of this either, but from a marketing standpoint, it's a little like, if Caitlin Clark, these games that she's been missing in Indiana, all of a sudden attendance just drops like a rock. I don't think that would necessarily happen with the Dodgers and baseball, but you'd get a version of that where it's just less interesting. It's less exciting. There's less reason to stop what you're doing and watch TV. All of it.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think you do miss, from a marketing standpoint, you obviously miss out on a major market, right? We've seen the Dodgers build in so much for the Japanese market now that watches him, right? And look, I have a friend who has in-laws in Japan, and when Shohei would play, was playing with the Angels or, any of the big Japanese stars, those games do air in Japan. But it was also that, if for whatever reason Shohei was pulled from the game, the network would go to commercial and they'd come back with something else. They would just, Shohei's not in the game, then we know you don't care. We're going to go back to regularly scheduled programming sort of thing. So you do miss that sort of thing. And you mentioned Roki Sasaki because he is out with no real, return date in sight right now. His team just needs pitching, I think, more than anything else. I mean, as somebody who I'm on the Blue Review, self-promotion here, every morning.
The Blue Review.
The Blue Review.
Shameless.
8:30, 8:55.
The Kamenetzkys would never stoop to that kind of thing to promote their podcast.
You have Emily promote it via Travis
and the podcast that's being shown at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes, that one. So, I mean, I think it's very interesting to see how they're going to handle this Shohei thing. We were talking before, though. this is still a very good team. It's still a playoff team, still a World Series team. Is this the day-to-day being a baseball fan has people freaking out? Is that why people are nervous right now?
But it's expectations, isn't it? Like, I do think the Dodgers did themselves a huge favor by winning a World Series in the first year of Shohei. Because every year you don't becomes the pressure just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But now they bought themselves. I mean, even Dodger fans understand you don't win the World Series every year. So you win it the first year, you buy yourself a little bit of time. This is, I think, just part of the having a lineup on paper and a roster on paper that should win 115 games. This is perception. So if you're not, what are they, the fourth best team in baseball right now?
Something like that.
That feels disappointing.
It feels disappointing because, as you mentioned, I mean, we started the season talking about, do the Dodgers win 120 games? Is that going to happen? Which we didn't factor in the fact that, most of their pitching staff was going to be on the injured list at this point in the year. But this is sort of where we are right now.
BC thought it was going to be 118, so he was right there.
Really?
I thought this was a year, if any team was ever going to break the Mariners' record of 116, I thought this Dodger team on paper before the beginning of the year.
If they'd stayed healthy.
Right. Oh, I mean, yes, if they had Snell, Glasnow, Sasaki still pitching, even Ohtani, I think they easily go over 118.
Yeah, probably.
I said 109, so I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I don't even know if they're on pace for 100 at the moment.
Losers. But also, the other thing that I think contributes is in other years, the Dodgers would be playing like this, 13 games over 500, and the next closest NL West team is, 1 game over 500, 2. Right. This year, there actually are teams chasing them. So the threat feels real, which actually is good for the Dodgers, not bad.
No, I think it is good. I think it forces them to sort of actually keep their foot on the gas all year long. I will say that for our purposes, it's nice to have content where we can talk about, we can gin up some what's wrong with the Dodgers sort of content, because if they are running away with this thing in June, it does make for kind of a slow, uninteresting summer as we're talking about this whole thing right now. But getting 2 out of 3 in San Diego was good. A lot riding on what happens this weekend in Los Angeles against the San Francisco Giants. Do you think they make a move though with all these injuries, all these issues right now? Is it time for them? Not time for them. Do they make a move? Do you think in July?
Is that a now question? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, sure. That can be a now question.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't do anything. Mm-hmm. But I'll ask you, how do you acquire big names for starting pitching? If you need starting pitchers or whatever, they do have still some currency in the minor leagues and some appealing players. But you're also acquiring into a staff that is kind of fully stocked for next year too, and a couple years down the road. It's tricky when you're expecting people to come back and you don't have a real hole otherwise in your rotation or really even in your bullpen if everybody's there. How much do you spend to bridge 3 weeks that you might need or a month that you might need is tough.
It is, and I think that's the issue that Andrew Friedman's trying to figure out right now. Before the season, they loaded up on pitching, and a lot of people looked around and said, well, why are you getting so many arms? And now here we are in mid-June, and you understand why they loaded up on so many arms. I think the Dodgers' issue is going to be they're going to have to pay a Dodger tax if they want to add starting pitching. I don't think teams are going to be all excited to help them out, first of all. That's the first thing. The second is just because of their philosophy when it comes to pitching. There will be open spots in the rotation next year just because I wouldn't be surprised if something similar happens next year. We have a bunch of guys on the injured list.
You assume,
You hope for the best, but you sort of plan for the worst, I think is the way you sort of handle that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I think this weekend's going to be huge. Obviously, it gets started tonight. A great pitching matchup on deck. Logan Webb going for the Giants against Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers. 7:10 first pitch time, so should be a whole lot of fun if you were out there. In fact, it's LGBTQ Pride Night out at Dodger Stadium as well, too. So Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Go check it out. Got Wheel of Questions coming up next. I think we're going to do some interesting conspiracy theory type stuff.
Maybe. We'll see where the wheel lands.
We'll see where the wheel lands for sure. We'll check that out.
BK has something for us.
Yeah, but can I tell you first about Pro Baller, the NBA playoffs, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold are doing in the biggest offseason in history. We've got Luka now. Luka. We have your dose of what's next for the Lakers thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Should be interesting. Go check that out for sure. Coming up, Wheel of Questions. BK, MG, Information in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Chris Morales. Feel Good Friday is on. And this afternoon at 3 p.m., Sedano and Cap becomes Morales and Cap. How about that, Cappy? I'm headed down to South to do the show at Cappy's house, the compound. We'll have fun and variety. We'll talk to Shidano live from Indiana as we get ready for Game 4. Dodgers, Giants, Angels baseball, U.S. Open, and we've got LAFC with a big match ahead. All with that.
Waba Grill.
What's our secret? It's our sauce.
Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Waba Grill. It's unexpected. It's delicious. It's saucy. It's for you. Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill. It's for you.
Someday, now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Father's Day freebie. Dads get a slick mechanical pencil free on Father's Day.
Number 2.
Billy Gardell, live July 12th.
And the number 1 reason.
Extreme gift giveaway. Get an HD Eternal drone when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for?
What is this?
It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
That's a dumbass question.
You know what? It might be. But for once, I don't think I'm going to be the one that sounds dumb. All right, so I came across a clip of Tyler Hero. And something he said here made me wonder for our youth. Brian, hit it, please.
100.
Are you serious?
You don't? No, I'm dead ass.
Wait, you don't believe that happened like 200 years ago?
The moon landing. Hell no.
Wait, really?
What about
the moon landing?
No, I don't believe in that. Oh. I don't believe anything that happened before 1950.
Okay, so wait. You don't believe in something that happened like 200 years ago?
Yeah, like
Christopher
how do we
Columbus?
know? Like how do we know? When did he come to America or the land or whatever?
True.
They said 1492.
Okay, if you missed it, he does not believe in anything that happened before 1950.
Well, first, shout out to him for
knowing
getting
the moon landing was.
Shout out to him though for knowing that Christopher Columbus landed in 1492.
No, he didn't know it. It took the committee there
Yes,
to figure that
it took
out.
the committee. So, first of all, I mean, honey, read a book, okay? There's that. But I wanted to know, because this is crazy. It mind boggled me when I saw this. What is a conspiracy, because this is what I'm calling it, that you guys believe till this day? Like, is there something that you're like, oh man,
and I
believe this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you got to differentiate a little bit here between conspiracy theory.
I mean, this is
and
not a
stupidity.
This is stupidity. Yes.
But like the
100%.
moon landing, that's an example of a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
That I do I really believe it? No.
You
but
don't?
No, I believe.
Oh, okay. I was
no.
like, whoa.
Do I believe in
hey.
the conspiracy theory? No, I do not. But it's a really fun one. Like to pretend they faked the moon landing.
Right.
If I had to pick one that I absolutely do believe in, frozen envelope. David Stern,
the Knicks,
getting Patrick Ewing to New York, absolutely 100%, because it's plausible. Like how you pull that off with the cold envelope, it's totally plausible. I'm buying that one.
That one's easy too, because like my thing with conspiracies is you have to remember, like for a conspiracy to work, everyone involved has to shut up about it, right? Like you can't let it leak. Something like that is like there's only a few people that actually need to be
keep
involved.
that tight.
Right. Like you only need, a handful of people involved to kind of make that one happen. I can buy that one.
You got to pay off the guy who fills the hopper with the envelopes.
Yep.
David Stern's certainly not talking.
Right.
Like you can keep that one tight.
Yeah, you can keep that one
I
quiet.
like that one.
I can believe that one. So there are some that I don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly, but are fun to sort of engage in.
Okay.
One is that birds aren't real. Have you seen this on the internet?
Yes, I
Birds
have.
aren't real.
Yeah.
I do like birds aren't real. The whole premise being that every bird you see is actually a government drone that is spying on you. And they are not actually real.
Even sparrows?
Even sparrows. Especially sparrows.
Penguins?
The other one that I really do like is Stevie Wonder Ain't Blind, y'all.
Oh,
okay,
dude,
I like that one.
That one's a great one. That
Stevie's
one's a
not
great one.
blind, y'all.
I think he's not like 100% blind. Like, because there's certain things that you're like, ooh.
I mean, I believe there's a video of him driving a car, right? Like,
I don't know
you
about
got a
that.
hook. You have a hook. You're the blind kid singer. It's a good hook. And then you get so deep into it, you can't tell anyone at that point.
Right.
And then you just sort of commit to the bit.
Yeah, you can't. Yes, I mean, there's video of him like behind the wheel of a car.
The mic stand one, right, where he like.
Yeah, like
there's things.
There's too many things. It's just like
I saw him fly a
Stevie.
plane once.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I have one.
Okay.
So a recent one. What was it where Katy Perry went into outer space or whatever?
God.
I
Yes.
totally don't buy that they went to outer space at all. Like, I don't buy it.
So where did they go?
I think it was like simulated or whatever.
Okay, I can buy that.
I don't believe that these women went anywhere.
I
can
love the
believe that.
amount of backlash that they got for that. Stupid.
Yeah, and
like,
they were
look
so
at us
mad for it.
empowering women. Like,
How? Shut up. Yes, please shut up. Shut up. You're privileged.
So now the question: as you get older, are you more or less inclined to buy into conspiracy theories? Do you think? We got to ask because we got the kids
what are the
back
kids
there.
in the back
I actually
thinking
want to
about
ask
this?
them a different question.
Okay.
Because they're young. They're like around Tyler Hero's age.
Right, we got
But they're
Parker,
very
we got
educated,
Graham back
okay?
there. Yeah. mhm.
Not saying that Tyler Hero isn't. I'm just saying, but I'm saying.
Nah, I'll
He
say it.
didn't suggest that he
I'll
was
say it.
educated.
Yeah, not at all. Do you guys believe in history and anything before 1950? There is a correct answer here.
Absolutely, yes. I understand where he's coming from. Like, kind of want to see the proof, like, want to see it actually happen with our own eyes, like we see stuff go on today. But I want to go back to what BK said about the committee that's with him. Making those guys, those streamers that he was with, look intelligent is a wild feat from Tyler Hero.
Parker, what about you?
So, yes, we both back here believe in history. The one thing that us youths, though, as I say that even though I'm a little older than Tyler Hero, we still claim to this day, Wilt didn't score 100. Where's the footage?
Didn't happen.
Where's the footage?
I've seen that, and that's a conspiracy theory that is growing a lot, especially because the people who claimed to have been there, we're losing those folks.
All they have is fourth quarter audio. Okay.
I mean, was anybody really even keeping score that long ago? Like, I don't know, you're doing it by hand. I think people, it's very possible somebody looked up.
Fudged
and
it up.
Just like, let's give 100. I don't know.
But Tyler,
Add 20.
Tyler,
At the same
we
time,
literally
too-
have grandparents born before 1950, so come on, man. Let's read a book sometimes.
I mean,
Facts.
I believe that was the. I think Al Adels used to say that was the game that he and Wilt combined for 121 or something like that.
What were his averages that year?
Oh, geez. I mean, that was. I feel like he averaged like 50, 60 points.
Right, that's the thing.
You know?
So it's sort of plausible when you go through and you look at some of the numbers that Wilt put up over the course of his career. He had,
according to Google, 50.4 points per game.
So he averaged 50 points per game.
That's according to Google.
The 1962.
That's pretty good.
So the 61-62 season, he averaged 50.4 points according to Basketball Reference.
25 and a half rebounds a game. Interestingly enough, he averaged 50 points a night and only shot 50% from the field. So it's not super efficient.
So he wasn't very efficient.
And he only shot 61% from the free throw line. So like if he could hit a free throw and it was a little better from the mid range, he'd average like 70 points.
He would have destroyed people. By the way, I think
he finished second
in scoring.
In MVP balloting. How do you average 50 and a half and 25 and a half and finish second? Who won? Bill Russell. Bill Russell.
Oh, okay.
Won.
Well, there you go. There's your answer. There it is. I do think, by the way, when we talk about unbreakable records in sports, like no one's catching Wilt in rebounds, right? Like I was looking at the list of active leading rebounders, and there's no one near Wilt Chamberlain in total rebounds in the NBA. Like that feels like that one's going to stand for maybe ever.
Wilt's, he played 14 years. The first 10, he averaged over 20 rebounds a game. He never averaged fewer than 18 and a half.
That's wild. I mean, so he was getting all of the rebounds.
All of them.
All of the rebounds. I mean, I'm looking right now at the list of NBA's leading rebounders. And the closest active player is LeBron, who is like 10,000 rebounds away. Right?
Not even the Lakers can miss that many.
Like, nobody's going to catch Wilt when it comes to all-time rebounds.
I just can't believe, okay, it's Bill Russell. He wins. I'm sure the Celtics won that year. I'm not even going to look it up. But, you finish the season, you just averaged 50 points a game, and you can't win an MVP.
Can't win an MVP.
It's got to be like, you know what, I give up.
That's a tough crowd. Tough crowd.
Oh, my
sure.
God. That is insane.
Absolutely insane. Hey, coming up, we're going to do some little sports graffiti. You got something on your mind you want to let us know about it, you can give us a call, 877-710-ESPN. That's 877-710-3776. Get on the line. We'll let you have your say for 15, 20, 30 seconds until we decide that you are done saying whatever you need to say. Stick around. Got plenty more. Marcus Grant, Brian Kamenetzky, Information in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the industry's idea of a healthier tomorrow, where vapes are deemed safer. Never mind, they can contain cancer-causing arsenic and lead. And they're anti-aging, because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the deadliest industry can rebrand itself as your friend.
Terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Hey, it's Mace. In tough times, a lot of people find themselves owing money to the IRS. It can really weigh you down, and you're confused about the right way to handle it. And all those scary ads on the radio about the IRS, they don't help. Tax relief advocates want you to relax, knowing that whether you owe $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 in tax debt, you don't have to fear the IRS another day. TRA has a proven 3-step tax resolution process, plus they're experts at working with special programs available from the IRS to help taxpayers get back on track. Easy to see why they have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. If you owe money to the IRS and feel trapped, don't lose hope. Tax relief advocates could reduce or even eliminate your debt. End your tax nightmare today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. Again, 800-575-1482.
And it is 1 o'clock in the Southland on the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland. And it's time for Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti like we do every day at this time. Sponsored by our friends at BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp.com/timeout. Now let's do it. Let's talk about it on Sports Graffiti on Mason and Ireland.
Sports Graffiti time. Got some lines open. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. Give you about 15, 20 seconds or so. You talk about anything. You talk about Dodgers, the Lakers. You can talk about conspiracy theories that maybe you do or don't believe in. Anything that is on your mind. Let's go. We got Nick on the line. Nick, welcome to Sports Graffiti.
Hey, guys, I got a question and a riddle for you. Question is, what's more remarkable, averaging 50 and 25 a game and not winning the MVP like Wilt did, or hitting 406 and not winning the MVP like Ted Williams did to DiMaggio? And my riddle is, what is the only cheese that is literally made backwards? I'll take you off the air.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate you not hanging around for us to
first, I was trying
to
figure this one out. Well, first off, I would say hitting 406. Just hitting a baseball is the hardest single act in sports.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. But I think maybe at the time they didn't realize it was never going to happen again.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
You got to figure 50 and 25 is not coming around again.
That's not coming around again either. Yeah, I'm gonna lean 406, but 50 and 25 and not winning the MVP is pretty rough. Only cheese that is made backwards.
Is it Edam cheese or
is that what it is? I have no idea.
That doesn't.
I don't know. I feel like it's like something like toe cheese or something.
You should have stayed on to give us the answer.
I was going to say,
I know, like,
man.
Nick, we need the answer, man.
Call back, Nick. Call back.
Call back. Give us the answer. Moving on. I got Mitch on Sports Graffiti. What's up?
How you guys doing now?
Good.
Brian, Marcus, thanks for taking the caller. I know we're talking about Dodgers. They'll be in the playoffs, no problem. But here's another team that's going to be playoffs. They have a lot of offense. USC. I'm looking forward to this college football game. They've been doing some good recruiting. And hopefully Lincoln Riley can play as coach now for as long as he wants. If Pete Carroll had a coach... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, thanks for the call, Mitch. You know what? I would say this. This is going to be a big year for Lincoln Riley. The last couple years have been a major disappointment.
They're leaving him on a tarmac somewhere. That's my prediction for Lincoln Riley.
I'll say John Ireland's trying to make me feel better about this because the schedule is not great for SC. So, if this recruiting class turns out to be as good as everybody says it is, if he can actually get into the transfer portal and do some big things.
Nope, they're doing this everywhere.
It's not a super tough schedule.
I just you look at graffiti, like this is sports graffiti. That was sports graffiti. If that was real graffiti, I'm not entirely sure what that guy just wrote.
What it was like.
I couldn't tell exactly what the question was there. He's back.
We got Nick back, so we got to figure out, Nick, what is the answer? We said Edam. I have no idea. What is the only cheese that's made backwards?
Okay. Look, there's no possible way you just figure that out in 5 seconds. You Googled it, and yes, the answer is Edam, made and Edam. The answer to the other one is...
How dare you disparage my knowledge of cheese?
You know you did,
don't
bro.
call
You
this
know you
station
did.
and call me a liar because you don't think I don't know anything about cheese. What do you think about that,
I'm
Nick?
not saying you're a liar. I'm saying you Googled it. Now,
That's a form of lying. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
The answer to the other one is 50 and 25 because someone has hit 390, George Brett. That was pretty close. But no one has remotely come close to 50 and 25. But it just tells you at the time what the contemporaries thought about Bill Russell. At the time, the people with their own eyeballs thought that Russell was better than Wilt. And to this day, most people do too.
Yeah, I think it's fair. That's fair for sure. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate the call. I say nowadays, Bill Russell wouldn't have as many MVPs because voters would just get Bill Russell fatigue.
Totally.
They were just like, yeah.
Back then, it was like, let's keep giving it to Russell.
It's fine.
There's a guy over there averaging 15 and 20. It's not, I mean, like,
but he's not. It's not Bill Russell.
It's not Bill Russell.
It's not Bill Russell. Like,
it excuses us to behave horribly towards him in other ways if we just keep giving him MVP awards.
877-710-ESPN. We got Joe on the line. Welcome to Sports Graffiti, Joe.
Hey, bud. So you guys were talking about conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
So in my lifetime, the moon landing was always up there, but the who killed JFK was probably number one for me.
Yeah. That's one
never been figured out.
Yeah, that one's probably never going to go away. Well, here's the thing. Someone knows. The government knows.
Well, they just put out all the stuff, if you believe that they're putting out all the files.
True.
And it's, like, pretty much answered at this point.
But, like, I guess that's out. Huh? We can Google that or read it, right? Like the Library of Congress or something.
Like you
probably
can
has
Google
those
it,
sorts
you
of
can
things.
Google the answer to that riddle.
So the cheese riddle there. We figured that one out. Here's the other thing about the moon landing. I know they always say that it was supposedly filmed in a warehouse or soundstage in Long Beach. Like, here's the thing. All the studios, right, have always been like up in Burbank, Glendale, up that way. Why would they drive?
You can't do it at a studio.
But why would they drive all the way to Long Beach? Just
precisely because you can't have people knowing about it.
But there's plenty of like warehouse space between Burbank and Long Beach.
You can't go to like Paramount and be like, all right, everybody just stay away from Studio J today because what's happening in there? Can't talk about it.
Wouldn't you just stop in like Culver City or something? Like
there's a security guard somewhere. It's like, you are never going to believe what they're doing over there today.
It happened, people. Get over it.
Some weird moon thing.
Right. We landed a little ship on the moon a couple times, and people walk around, and it's cool.
Guys hit a golf ball. It's a whole thing. We got Josh. Josh, what's going on? Welcome to Sports Graffiti.
So, in parallel to conspiracies, one thing I'm also passionate about is scams. I think lotteries are scams. The NBA lottery is a scam, but also about conspiracies. What about the conspiracy yesterday? Tell me how one dude survived a plane crash, jumped out of the huge inferno fireball, and has no broken bones, is able to walk, and no cuts. Come on, dude. I'm fishy about that one.
Well, that was covered in a documentary starring Bruce Willis called Unbreakable.
It's possible.
I have no idea.
I'm not here to kind of take guesses as to what happened on a plane crash that killed 200 and something people.
It's an amazing story. That's an incredible
I don't
story.
know, and it's not really where my head is.
So
yeah. Talk about
Yeah, we got Alec.
I say, I was a little concerned as soon as you started that thing that happened yesterday. I was a little concerned as to what, because it could have been any one of
so
many
things, right?
Well, I was like, please don't go there.
So many things,
and that actually wasn't on my list, and I wasn't pleased with the results.
We got Alec online. Alec, welcome to Sports Graffiti.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Just wanted to say everyone at 710 owes Scott Kaplan an apology. He picked Indiana. Everyone said it wouldn't go 5. It'd be lucky to go 6. He was right.
Who's
and
everybody?
secondly, do you guys think of another time a more Cinderella story has been this close to winning the NBA title?
Well, one, I didn't say anything about the Pacers, so I feel like I don't know Cappy.
Exactly. Thank you. My opinion was not asked about, so please don't include our body.
So I don't know.
Not everybody.
Nobody's apologizing to Cappy on principle. We're just not doing
it. Was that part too?
Because he owes the rest of us so many. The one time he gets it right.
Another Cinderella story.
When the Pistons won.
The 04 Pistons was, I think, kind of
when Philly was up 1-0 on the Lakers. Does that count? Didn't last.
That was the only game the Lakers lost in that playoff.
What is
season?
the biggest upset in a finals though? Of any, I'm trying to think now. Like the biggest underdog to win in any series.
The Dodgers.
I do have to Google.
The Dodgers over the A's in '88 was a pretty big deal. I'm trying to think what else like in a series because Yeah, that's a tough way. That's one we have our cracked research team. We got the kids back there.
A lot of people think it is.
That?
I think most, at least of modern times, you'd think Pistons over Lakers.
Yeah, that's probably the most recent one. But I'm really struggling to come up with a big upset in a postseason series or a final series. A couple more to get in. Let's go to Jay. Jay, welcome to Sports Graffiti.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. So I think I might have a solution for the robot umpire situation that we got going on. You guys were talking about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, we get to see that K-zone, that digital zone that's on TV sometimes where you can see the strikes kind of go through. If they can set up some kind of system for the umpire to have like a vibration on his chest or on the face mask so that it aligns to what the strike zone says, you can still have the umpire calling the plays out at home plate, for safe and out and things like that and controlling the game. What do you guys think?
I think we're still going to have umpires on the field, even with the robot umps. I mean, I think you have to have somebody there just for that situation.
Keep the trains moving.
Yeah,
right.
like for those safe out calls at home plate. I think you have to have somebody there. I'm a grouch where I don't want robot umps at all. Like I think the solution is to take the K zone off the screen so that we don't.
I want them, but only if they're actual humanoid robots. Behind, like where the human umpire used to be.
You want C-3PO out
yes,
there.
Yes, if you replace him, if you replace the human umpire with that guy, I'm on board with it. Otherwise, I kind of agree with you.
All right. Last couple real quick. John, welcome to Sports Graffiti.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I consider myself the longest listener to the original Mason and Ireland show. I think I got them the second day they threw those guys together. Just as an aside, they were trying to think of a name for the broadcast, and it was Fat Boy and Woosie Boot. So
I would have stuck with that.
That cracks me up.
So you listen to the station a lot. Did you hear the show that Marcus and I did a few years ago? Was it the worst one in station history?
I think so, yes.
Wow, we gotta cut that.
But I don't know. I may have another.
Oh, that was excellent.
That was amazing.
That was excellent because he was like right on point with it too.
He's like without question.
Absolutely.
Hey, I do have something I can't figure out. What's your opinion? Thinking about the Knicks and the other team, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
Who made that? Was an incredible deal. Who came out better in the trade after they both made it almost, to the end? Who do you think benefited more?
It seemed to work for both teams. Cat had a good year. Bad, not a great Eastern Conference final. Randall played, once he got kind of in the flow of things with Minnesota, played well. Had a good playoff. Who came out better? I mean, I think the Knicks are maybe a little bit better team than
but I mean the fact that they very well could have been in the finals
they
against
capped out
each
in
other.
exactly the same spot.
Yeah,
I don't think the Knicks get as far without making the trade, and the Wolves may have gotten a little bit farther if you swap out Cat for Randall. So in that sense, I think maybe Minnesota loses out a little bit because the Knicks improved themselves more, but both teams, I think, did fine.
Yeah, for sure. One last one real quick. Let's get Crystal in. We've been waiting on the line. Crystal, welcome to Sports Graffiti.
Oh, this is my favorite place to be. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday the 13th to you.
Happy Friday.
I am just here to just spread love and cheer to let everyone know that, listen, mental health is every day. Make sure you are taking care of yourself. Find your happy. YouTube chat, shout out. Love you guys. You guys are my happy place. This show is my happy place. Sedano Cap, all of you guys. 710 is my happy place. And I just want to say love, peace, and chicken grease to everyone. Shout out your girl, Crystal Nicole. YouTube chat. Just love y'all. Love, love, love. That's all. That's all I got. Love.
Appreciate it, Crystal. We love you.
I love that.
All right, that was so great.
I need her more often.
Crystal, you can call back anytime. Absolutely. That was Sports Graffiti. Let's talk about it on Sports Graffiti. It's sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health. And Crystal mentioned it is Friday the 13th, which generally means bad and spooky and all sorts of unlucky things potentially happening. Candace Cameron, you know her as DJ Tanner from Full House from many, many years ago. She has some thoughts on the state of evil and whether
and its location.
And its location and its whereabouts. We'll get into that in a little bit. Stick around. MGBK hanging in for Mason and Ireland here on 710 ESPN.
But first, do you know a high school senior who is a leader, a scholar, and an athlete? You can nominate them for the ESPN LA All-Star Student presented by Rotolo Chevrolet. 5 winners, $500 scholarships, VIP treatment at our All-Star Friday event. Nominate your All-Star student today at ESPNLA.com. Thanks to Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region in California for 13 years in a row. Come see what the fun is all about.
Hey, it's Chris Morales. Feel Good Friday is on. And this afternoon at 3 p.m., Sedano and Cap becomes Morales and Cap. How about that, Cappy? I'm headed down to South to do the show at Cappy's house, the compound. We'll have fun and variety. We'll talk to Sedano live from Indiana as we get ready for Game 4. Dodgers, Giants, Angels baseball, U.S. Open. And we've got LAFC with a big match ahead. All of that. Plus, of course, fun and frivolity. Will Cappy and I share food? I'm bringing dude wipes, too, by the way. And it's Friday, the 13th. What will producer Lindsay Baseball have in store for us, huh?
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha!
We'll talk to you at 3 p.m. and we got YouTube only at 5:30. Join us for a Feel Good Friday this Friday afternoon. Sedano and Cap. Actually, Morales and Cap. Coming up on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. Be sure to catch Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti. Weekday afternoons at 1 p.m. on Mason and Ireland. Sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Now for a limited time, lease a Hyundai Tucson for only $259 a month. Or get 2.99% APR. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end July 7th. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Pacific Palms Resort, LA's Hilltop Hideaway and #1 work and play resort, provides opportunities for all travelers and locals. Enjoy restful accommodation, dine in the Red Restaurant with an expansive outside patio, or pamper yourself and relax at the spa. Hit the links at one of their 2 championship courses, the Babe and the Ike. Pacific Palms Resort is the perfect choice for a Los Angeles venue for your business meetings, weddings, and big events. Enjoy a beautiful staycation or family holiday at their Hilltop property. Book your stay at LA's #1 work and play resort today at PacificPalmsResort.com.
You've probably heard of speed dating, but what if there was something similar for hiring, especially if you're running a growing business? There is Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You can post your job today and talk to interested qualified candidates tomorrow. Simply select a time and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you'd like to connect with and meet great people through back-to-back video calls starting as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles, on the all-new ESPN LA app always. And, of course, sitting in today for Mason and Ireland on this Friday the 13th, once again, Brian Kamenetzky and Marcus Grant on 710.
My mother said this sounded like a toothpaste ad.
What? I love this song.
I mean, I love it too.
I see it now that I
right.
you
So
say
fresh
that.
and so
Right.
clean, like right, like you could use it as a toothpaste ad or something, for sure.
They fresh and clean, like swagged out.
Parker Bell, actually, we were talking about underdogs, and he mentioned the 2011 Dallas Mavericks.
That's a good one.
Which is a good one. Beating the Miami Heat in that one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, and basketball is one of those sports that you generally don't get the big ups. And in hindsight, those Pistons were better than they were given credit for.
Yeah.
But, basketball, maybe the team, the higher seed team doesn't win, home court advantage, but you generally get the team. If one team is perceived to be way better than another, they usually win.
Well, and I think with you mentioned the Pistons too. I think it was less that we didn't think they were good. It's just that we thought that Laker team was going to be great.
Right.
With the guys they had on that team.
And the Pistons didn't have any stars. They just, it turns out they have like 6 Hall of Famers.
I mean, the Lakers are just loaded with guys who are future Hall of Famers for sure. Also, Pepe Mantilla was weighing in. He had the Jets winning their Super Bowl. Cassius Clay, later known as Muhammad Ali, beating Sonny Liston. And then the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Miracle on Ice.
But again, Cassius Clay turned out to be
one of the greatest
boxers. We just didn't realize it yet. And I'm going to pull a Tyler Hero here.
Okay.
I don't believe in football that happened in like 1960. Maybe that's an upset, maybe not.
Football before like 1980.
I'm not. It's just it's none of my business. If you had fewer than 2 bars on your face mask,
then it's not.
Then it's just I'm not.
It doesn't really count.
Not in the mood.
Doesn't count. Today is Friday the 13th, which usually Jason Voorhees rises up and causes havoc wherever he may be, Camp Crystal Lake and places beyond that. But there are people out there, Laura, who apparently do not take lightly this sort of evil omen sort of thing on Friday the 13th. In fact, Candace Cameron apparently has an issue with it. Huh?
She didn't specifically say Friday the 13th, but listen to this because she's another cuckoo.
I don't even want someone watching a scary movie in our house on the TV because to me, that's just a portal. Listen, I'm in the film industry. I understand how it all works. However, there's still something that can be incredibly demonic while they've made it.
Seriously.
And I feel like it's a portal that gets opened up and let in. And that just reminded me, like you posted something a while back about liquid death.
Girl, that's water.
And you're like, so do you want to buy a product that is literally being cursed as it's going out into distribution?
Okay, so there's many things here. First of all, we're going to break down the first comment about how she believes scary movies open a portal, a demonic portal. I love me some scary movies. I am a punk and I watch them with my eyes half closed, half open. But I love them. So are you guys do you guys believe her little conspiracy that it opens portals? This is nuts to me.
I don't.
You hesitated there. You should have been like, I don't.
I don't. Like, I have heard other people maybe not open a portal, but just sort of avoid scary movies on the belief that it's, promoting
like when everybody
demonic.
comes back from an Endgame,
just like
they open all those circles, and
just like it promotes demon worship or something like that.
Right,
so I know people who avoid scary movies because of that, but I don't believe that. No, that like because I watched, if I decide to watch Halloween or something, that like that like something
Paranormal Activity.
There's gonna be things in my
and
house because
I think that's an important distinction here to make, because while I have a feeling that all the Camerons and I don't have a whole lot in common. I don't think that movies open up portals through which demonic forces enter our astral plane, but I do think like the basic concern about not opening up portals that allow demonic forces into our universe is reasonable. Like, you don't want to do that.
So look,
that's not going to be the thing that does it,
right?
Avoid the things that do.
But you know what? In an interest of finding common ground with people that you don't always agree with, that's a first step, right?
True.
No one wants a portal to the demonic world open in their home.
For example, we
all don't want that.
Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Ghosts.
Like, it was funny, great movie, phenomenal comedy. That's still not good.
But you didn't believe that New York City was ever in danger from
no, not in
the
real
other
life. But
side.
you wouldn't want that to happen in real life,
right?
Even with just the marshmallow, like there will be collateral damage,
especially
because they do not explore in that film.
Also, especially because Bill Murray is in his 70s now.
Right,
and I don't know how much he's going to fight ghosts.
No.
Okay, listen. Like for me, growing up, it's like we understand things are there. Healthy respect, right? That's what Sedano says. I have a healthy respect for the beyond and all this stuff. Because I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in all that stuff. And especially growing up in a very Latina household, there was like, ooh, don't do this or don't do that, right? Even with Friday the 13th. There's certain like things you avoid. There's certain things you don't want to see. There's certain things you want to like not be around or whatever. So I have a healthy respect for all that. I do think that those things exist, and I do think people have abilities to open things, to call things, all that stuff. But in me watching It or The Conjuring or any movie like that, Saw, you know, is it going to open a portal to this demonic world? No, I'm sorry.
Well, I think
Supernatural,
it would have happened by now. They made 11 Saw movies. I think we're safe with those scary movies.
Yeah, I think. Well, Saw also wasn't like Jigsaw was
psychological.
He was of this earth. You know, he was of this realm. He just, you know,
he was a psychopath.
He was kind of a sick dude.
Yeah,
so
that's also true. But you said you never seen those movies.
I mean, no, but I know the premise. I understand like what goes on in a Saw film, even if I've never seen them.
Brian, do you believe that like scary movies can open a portal to the beyond or the demonic world?
Maybe in somebody's mind, you know, like a schizophrenic kind of a deal. You could
I'm not joking about that.
Get freaked out kind of a deal, but no, not into the real world, not at all.
All right, yeah, I don't. So now we got the other part though, like the liquid death thing.
I mean, listen, I like liquid death, like the water, the non-sparkling, because I can't have the sparkling one. I think it's a decent water. I'm not going to overpay for it, but if it's there and I need one, whatever, I'll get it. I'm not going to be like, oh, that has liquid death. I can't touch it. Like, I don't know. Some people go too far for me, bro.
But to be clear, like when it comes off the assembly line, there isn't somebody at the end whose job it is to curse the water.
No.
Because she seemed worried about that. Like it's cursed. She said the water's cursed.
As though they sprinkle the can with unholy water.
Right.
I was going to say she needs holy water
like
to
some
drink the water.
Because if there is, they should get that guy off the assembly line.
Seems like bad marketing for your product.
Especially now as we're like peeling back all these FDA protections and inspections and stuff. Like nobody's going to even know.
Someone cursing the water is probably not a thing that you want.
No.
I remember seeing a truck around town that said, like for months before the product was brand new. And I was like, why is someone driving a truck that just says liquid death? Like that seemed disconcerting. Like I didn't think it was necessarily like, you know, demonic or supernatural. It was just disconcerting.
I just assumed it was an energy drink.
Oh, I thought it was a beer.
Years.
I thought it was alcohol.
Yeah, I thought it was alcohol.
Even
for
when
sure.
you look at the can, it does not look like a water. Like it's crazy.
I remember Wilbert, who works for our Lakers broadcast, came in. Like that's the first time I ever saw liquid.
And you're like, why are you coming in here with a beer?
100%. He comes in like chugging down this can, and I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, you're bold." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Dude, you're hella drinking in the studio. You're bold." He goes,
"Oh,
no, this is water." And I was like, "No, it's not." And he like shows it to me. I was like, "Oh."
I can beat you on that kind of story. When I used to be a teacher, this is in my early 20s. When I first moved to LA, I was teaching. And I was sitting at the schools I worked at, and sitting outside, had my little sandwich, whatever. And I used to have in my desk a bottle of malt vinegar that I would just, put on my sandwich, put on fries if I got with chips, whatever. And my boss came by and he looked at me and said, "Brian, you can't be drinking that right now. It's the middle of the school day." He thought I was doing it at school.
You thought you were drinking malt liquor?
I don't know what he thought I was drinking, but he thought my bottle of malt vinegar was booze.
Some of us did that. Like, I will not say that
No, there were plenty of teachers who I'm sure were drinking, but not in the middle of the quad.
No, I mean, I saw, like, I used to be in, like, afternoon, like, school programs or whatever, right? And I had one particular teacher who was, he was, like, the cool one. You know what I mean? So there was, like, things that would go down and, just people didn't talk about. Like, people would take, like, the bottle of water, and everybody thought it was water. Mm-hmm. It was vodka.
Okay.
We've all been there, taking it in high school, right? I'm not saying I did that. I'm just saying I knew of people.
I love the preface. Like, I'm not saying I did that.
I didn't do that, but people did it. I knew people that did it.
Mine was gin.
So I am old enough that the undercover alcohol of choice, like Zima, was kind of a new thing when I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so like kids would put Zima like in a water bottle and drink that.
What is? I want to Google this.
Zima is like the hard seltzer thing that we live in now, where like most of them are pretty good. They're tasty. They're a little too refreshing. It's easy to drink like 11.
Oh, now I see
Zima
it.
is the origin story
the
of
predecessor
these
to all these. Yes,
it was not nearly as tasty. But if you were a high school
Four
or
Locos
old,
was our thing.
young college-aged girl in that era, you were familiar with Zima.
Yeah. It was
I
very
Googled
popular.
it. I saw it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you know what it is that we're talking about. It was very. I think I tried one. It was overly sweet.
That's disgusting.
It was very not good. But as as a younger person who was not necessarily of legal drinking age, it was also a lot easier to get your hands on versus something else.
They were giving it away.
They were pretty much giving it away. It was a lot easier to get than trying to get a beer or a bottle of hard alcohol.
You know what was like the thing when I was in high school too, like Hypnotic and Alizé.
Yeah,
like that was like the thing because it was like fruity.
Yeah,
you could like pretend it was something else, like some kind of juice. Because of the colors. Like that was like the thing too when I was in high school. Again, not that I partook in it.
I'm looking in the chat here, by the way, and Bubba Holmberg described it well. Zima was basically Sprite malt liquor.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
that's basically
that is the best description of that stuff I've ever heard.
Yes, Sprite malt liquor for Zima.
Interesting.
Yeah, there it is. Anything else? We have nothing else. That's the whole Candace Cameron thing there.
Yeah, but there's like a lot with Friday the 13th, but we do got a break,
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah,
we can come back.
We can dive into
my
that
game
more.
today is Friday the 13th theme too, so we'll bring it back.
Oh,
All right,
nice.
All right, so we got a little more of that. So stick around for some of that coming up a little bit later as well. Also, may dive into some Lakers because LeBron James has thoughts on the 2020 bubble season and says that it's every much as good or better than any other season that has ever happened in the history of the NBA. We'll dive into that in just a little bit. By the way, ESPN LA 710 and Children's Dental Fun Zone present the T-Ball Tee-Off, part of ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday Night happening July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Kids ages 7 to 12 can swing big and be part of the All-Star action. Sign up now at ESPNLA.com. Click on the T-Ball Tee-Off card and find sign up in your designed age group. Children's Dental Fun Zone, sparkling smiles, happy kids. Back with more a little bit. BKMG on Information in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
After another gritty performance by the Pacers in Game 3, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers look for a 3-1 series lead tonight. Pacers, Thunder, Game 4 in Indiana. Coverage tips off at 5:30 p.m. on 710 a.m. and the all-new ESPN LA app, the ESPN radio tile. Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. And Chumba Casino and Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. Meanwhile, Sedano and Cap will continue until 6 p.m. on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles and the Listen Live tile on the all-new ESPN LA app. The NBA Finals on 710 ESPN.
Are you looking for a trusted roofing expert in Southern California? Journey Builders has you covered. This is Mike Trudell from ESPN LA. Journey Builders specializes in quality roof replacements for homes around the Southland. They'll ensure that your roof stands strong. ESPN LA listeners who call in today to book their free same-day inspection get $5,500 off their roof replacement. Journey Builders also offers financing. Call 888-607-8808 today. That's 888-607-8808 or go to journeybuildersinc.com.
Hey everybody, it's Cap. Is it time to sell your home? Whether you're downsizing, moving, or inheriting a property, call Seller's Advantage. With decades of experience, they offer custom cash solutions and can close in days. No repairs, no agents, no hassle, just a great offer that gives you peace of mind. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com. Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
30 years ago, Wu-Tang Clan changed hip-hop forever. Now, it's time for the Final Chamber. Live in Los Angeles, Wu-Tang Clan, together, live on stage, the beginning of their final tour. Crypto.com Arena, June 22nd. With Run the Jewels. Get tickets now at WuTangClan.com. Wu-Tang Forever, the Final Chamber. Produced by AEG Presents.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the biggest show on the radio. And we know Mason loves to throw out scenarios.
I threw a bunch of scenarios out there yesterday. A lot of people screamed at me on Twitter, which is fine. Don't use all caps. Don't use all caps.
More of Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN and always on the all-new ESPN LA app.
School is out and it's sort of a buzz. But back then I didn't really know what it was. But now I see what happened is the way.
We've lived long enough so that Will Smith is now older than Uncle Phil was when that show was on.
Wow. That's crazy.
I believe Will Smith is older now than Uncle Phil was when the show first began.
That's like the new version of the Wilford Brimley and Cocoon thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wilford Brimley was he like freakish? Well, he was
like
way
52.
way younger than he looked in that film.
He was staggeringly young for the character he was playing.
Yeah. Well, back then when Will and DJ Jazzy Jeff were singing about summertime. What are we talking about here? We gonna talk Lakers? Or
We can talk Lakers.
Okay.
It's what you guys want. I don't dictate y'all show.
You're the one. You're. I'm pretending to drive. You're the one actually driving this thing. So I figure out.
If it crashes, then they're gonna blame me.
Okay. The 2020 bubble. People still look at that, and Brian, you know this. I mean, they sort of look at it, and a lot of non-Laker fans put an asterisk on the championship that happened, saying it's the bubble, and there were no fans, and it was a whole different scenario. LeBron James has different thoughts on that. We have that sound, right? About what LeBron James said about the 2020 bubble, correct?
Yeah, he got it.
All right.
I agree with a lot of people say when it's the purest form of hoops, like it was strictly basketball. Like it is no, we're all like, have the ability to do whatever we want in life. We've made a bunch of money. We have all the access, that's gone in the bubble. You can't just, I'm about to go to a restaurant or I'm about to do this or I have this. You can't do none of that. Like everything in the bubble was strictly about basketball. And obviously we was there, talking about a lot of the off the court things that was going on, the social injustice and the police brutality and stuff, all that, rightfully so. But when the basketball portion was the focus, that's all it was. Like of all my championships I've won, that level of focus, like how long can you maintain your focus in order to get the job done? Because you have all the reasons if you want to get out of focus because you're so accustomed to a certain lifestyle that you like the hell with this. Like I don't want to do this. Like why am I here? Like I don't want to be a part of this. Like this is not what I can't get a certain meal. I can't do this. I can't see my family. I can't lock in on and you can very easily get out of why you're there.
All right. So he says it was the toughest championship because there was, so much going on or not going on. Do you agree with that?
It's hard for me to say that it's like but like the idea that the bubble title was somehow asterisk worthy. If anything, the asterisk should be it's harder. I do agree with him that what they did that year, when you put the context in, like the Lakers, I believe would have been home court through the playoffs there that year. That goes away. There is no home. The color of your jersey. There is no home court there. There is no home fans there. You get none of the benefits that normally come with being the best team in the league. And so mentally, I agree with him. Being in that isolation where you can't go near one, no family. it's like, were they living in the bubble better than a lot of us, stuck in Ireland?
Right.
Sure. But it's, they were also, like he says, away from their families, away from their routine, away from all this stuff. And I just think the mental toll of playing in that situation, and then the way it leveled the playing field to where, it was a big advantage. The Lakers got a lot of rest going in there, and LeBron and AD were never able to replicate that again, in part, you could say, because they never had, what was it, like 3.5 months to heal before they went and played in the postseason. But you know what? Every other team had the chance to rest and get healthy and all that kind of stuff. Like, there was no travel to even, to advantage one team over another. And so in that sense, pure hoops, is our team better than your team? I think LeBron makes a very solid argument.
Which, by the way, they would have had the third best record overall that year. The Bucks, 56-17. The Raptors were half a game better.
They would have had home court over Miami, though.
Over Miami,
finals.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, they would have for sure had. Because, Miami, we talk about upsets. I mean, Miami was kind of a surprise in the sense that, they were an okay team during the regular season. They got hot in the play. I feel like that was the first appearance of playoff Jimmy? Is that the first time we really saw Jimmy Butler?
Ooh. It was when playoff Jimmy became famous, because it also corresponded with Coffee Jimmy.
Yes. Yes,
like
I know
Bubble
he was.
Coffee Jimmy was that started. I think really blew up.
Kind of had that coffee pop up in the bubble where he was like charging guys $20 for a cup of coffee, something like that.
At least.
So I think it's interesting too, because, and we talked about it a little bit with the Dodgers before the show, because they also won in sort of a bubble situation, right? Going down to Texas and winning a World Series, and a lot of folks have sort of discounted that. I do think there's something to be said for being forced to kind of only focus on that. And I know that, we all made jokes, Lou Williams leaving the bubble to go get wings at a gentleman's club.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
Lemon Pepper Lou, right? That's where the legend began, was down in the bubble.
Lou has needs.
Apparently,
wings, man.
Yeah,
Lou
wings.
has needs. All kinds of needs.
Listen, Cosm has awesome lemon pepper wings, so I get it.
All right. All right, I'll go check that out. I did not know that. Next time I go to Cosm, I'll go check out the wings there.
Maybe appetites would be a better word for Lou.
Yes, he has appetites.
And appetites in multiple ways, satisfied in multiple ways.
There it is. Appetites for Lou Williams. But yeah, I think when you hear it immediately, the thought is, what do you mean it was a harder championship? It was a more difficult championship. It's like, you had a long break. You didn't have to worry about fans. You just went out and played basketball. But I do think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
But also, Brian, few people have the focus that LeBron James has too, which I think sort of plays into this whole thing. Like, nobody's going to be locked in, I think, the way LeBron James can lock into something.
But even then, and the ability to adapt, because that kind of lock-in is different. That guy, that wasn't his first rodeo. He understood and had pretty well dialed in. Here's what I do in the playoffs. Here's what I do in the week before, the month before the playoffs, the week before the playoffs, the first round of the playoffs, all the way through. I know how to do this to get myself through to the finals. Mm-hmm. This is my program. All of that goes out the window.
Yeah.
Because and so you gotta be able to adjust and reconstruct that on the fly, like in real time. And he was able to do it. I think with baseball, the argument you could make more than anything is, what was it, a 50-something game season?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, it was just this incredible sprint. Mm-hmm. It's almost the exact opposite of what a regular baseball season looks like.
Right.
But winning in the playoffs, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you still have the same pressures. You still have the same short series. I mean, the Dodgers had to come back from deficits in that series to ultimately win. I know locally everybody still counts them. Yeah, I know nationally people want to hang an asterisk on the Lakers championship, on the Dodgers championship here. They count. They're in the record book.
Haters,
right?
100% haters
for real. Sam Presti is a guy that I think a lot of people count on and trust his opinion and his skills when it comes to building a basketball team. Of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals right now. But would you trust Sam Presti when it comes to his music choices? We'll talk about that a little bit more. BKMG in Mason Island, 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Chris Morales. Feel Good Friday is on. And this afternoon at 3 p.m., Sedano and Cap becomes Morales and Cap. How about that, Cappy? I'm headed down to South to do the show at Cappy's house, the compound. We'll have fun at Frivolity. We'll talk to Shitano live from Indiana as we get ready for Game 4. Dodgers, Giants, Angels baseball, U.S. Open, and we've got LAFC with a big match ahead. All of that. Plus, of course, fun and Frivolity. Will Cappy and I share food? I'm bringing dude wipes, too, by the way. And it's Friday, the 13th. What will producer Lindsay Baseball have in store for us, huh?
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha!
We'll talk to you at 3 p.m. and we got YouTube only at 5:30. Join us for a Feel Good Friday this Friday afternoon. Shitano and Cap. Actually, Morales and Cap. Coming up on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where vapes are anti-aging. Because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke.
75% of people believe it's wise to seek support. Only 27% of Americans are in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. At BetterHelp, they have over 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's Mezcal. Dos Hombres.
All right, thank you, Brian. I'll kick us off here today. So I saw this right before the show, got me thinking. So a Pedro Pascal lookalike contest is happening in New York this weekend.
Okay.
And the winner is going to get $50 cash, but also a year's worth of free burritos. So you can get one free burrito every day at this restaurant that they're having.
For looking
like Pedro Pascal. So my question here is, have you guys ever had, you look like this celebrity? And if so, what would you want for a year free of? Like, what is a prize that you're like, I'm all in on a free burritos for a year, or free In-N-Out for a year, or something like that?
Well, first off, I actually was once mistaken for and had a whole conversation in the persona of Geno Smith.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I don't think that I look like Geno Smith, but I had heard for a long time that I looked like Geno Smith, and so I was. It was Super Bowl week in San Francisco. I was at a hotel in the city, and was just with some coworkers in the hotel lobby at the bar or whatever, having a beer. And I was actually really just kind of a little tipsy and tired and going to go to bed. And a guy walks up to me and says, "Hey, Geno, what's going on?" And I'm in a mood where I'm like, okay, let's just roll with this. We're just gonna make this happen. And I said, yeah, hey, what's up? And he says, hey, you don't know me, but I'm friends with so-and-so who went to West Virginia the same time you did. Do you remember this person? And I was like, name sounds familiar. Maybe if I saw a picture. He's like, oh, well, don't worry about it. He lives in New York. He would kill me if he knew I saw you and didn't say hello. So I just want to stop by and say hi. Like, hey, well, thank you for stopping by. Tell so-and-so that I said hello. Hey, man, enjoy the week, enjoy the Super Bowl. And he went on his merry way, and that was the whole
There's
thing.
some dude in New York right now who thinks like, hey, I think Geno Smith remembers me when we went to
yeah, exactly.
West Virginia together.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was it. But I guess if somebody wants to give me free beers for a year, I'm totally on board with that for sure.
I once had a homeless person scream at me for like 2 blocks because
in LA, right?
In LA,
Yeah,
because I didn't give him money, and he thought I was Phil Collins. So why are you so cheap, Phil Collins?
That's great.
How can you get so rich? You're so rich, Phil Collins. You don't give me any money. So I was mistaken. I would love like the idea. There's like a breakfast burrito shop that opened up like a quarter mile from my house, and I've been there a couple times. Just opened up. It is fantastic. Like a year's worth of breakfast burritos would be phenomenal. Except I can't eat a year's worth. I won't have a next year if I eat a year of breakfast burritos. But like, it would be food. I'd want a year's worth of just delicious things.
Yeah. But that would also solve a lot of morning issues, right? Like you get up in the morning, maybe you're scrambling.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have kids. Like you gotta get the kids ready and out. Like if that part of my day is taken care of, that's a big help.
We can't just say like rent, right? Like it can't be something that
That would be
big.
amazing.
Right.
Because otherwise I'll take a year's worth of rent.
Rent-free apartment. Thank you very much.
Rent, something, gas, like, gas for the car, something like
Can
that.
you
That'd be
imagine
great.
that? You look just like Pedro Pascal. Here's free rent for a year.
Can we go back? Why Pedro Pascal? I mean, I enjoy
There's
his
no
work.
relationship between any of the things in that context.
I enjoy his work, but why Pedro Pascal?
Maybe there's a bunch of people around New York that look like him.
Maybe, perhaps.
Also, the fact that you guys have somebody that someone has mistaken for, because I've never had anybody mistaken me for anybody. So there's that. Anyways, moving on. Also, you did mention Sam Presti and music. We will get to that on the next segment. But it's Tim Allen's birthday today. He turns 72, which was like, exactly. That was my first reaction. And then I started to think, wow, he's done a lot of movies. And typical question, I just want to know, what is your favorite Tim Allen movie? And I feel like there's a right answer for this.
Movie? I mean, I guess it's got to be Toy Story for me. Even though like his face doesn't necessarily appear, but as the voice of Buzz Lightyear, like that's it for me.
To infinity and beyond.
Is there a second choice?
I mean, it's got to be like one of the Santa Claus movies, maybe. You know what?
Any movie where you can see Tim Allen in it is probably not as good.
I would like to change my answer.
Uh-oh.
Galaxy Quest.
Well, that is funny.
Galaxy Quest is
very
legitimately a good. With your friends, going to go to like Wild Hogs or something like that.
A funny movie.
Let me read through some of the ones where you can see Tim Allen's face.
His actual face.
Crazy on the Outside, Red Belt, Wild Hogs, The Santa Claus, which is not good, The Shaggy Dog, Christmas with the Cranks, The Santa Claus 2, Big Trouble, Joe Somebody, Galaxy Quest, For Richer or Poorer, Jungle to Jungle. I mean, he's made some god-awful movies.
That's not a great list.
I did say there was a right answer.
And it's Jungle to Jungle?
It's Toy Story.
It's Toy Story. Yeah. It's okay.
But Galaxy Quest is low-key
Galaxy
a really
Quest
funny
is
movie.
super underrated.
It's a
I mean,
very
it is
funny movie.
funny, but I don't think it's like the best.
It's not better than Buzz Lightyear, but it's...
No, probably not.
No.
What's up, Foo?
All right, guys, so I'm a gambling man. Love to play these daily fantasy bets, the prop bets, everything. So cooking up one here on Prize Picks. The thing that's got me here, so Halliburton, I don't know if you guys know, hasn't attempted a single free throw in 3 games in the series, the NBA Finals, which is pretty insane. So here tonight, his odds are more or less than 2.5 free throws attempted. Do you think that the streak of no free throws will continue for Halliburton, or is this kind of anomaly? He's going to at least attempt 3 tonight. Which way should I play here?
3 feels like a lot to go from 0 to 3.
0, 0, 0, 3.
3? That seems like a lot. I might say, I think he gets to the line, but it's like an and 1.
Okay.
So you only get like 1 free throw out of it.
So you take the under there.
I think I take fewer.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
Can we just say, like, this is, if you were ever going to be a referee who wanted to just kind of make a little money on a game and doing something you can control, getting Tyrese Halliburton to the line 3 times over the course of it, you want to talk about something that nobody would notice.
Jonte Porter understands where you're coming from.
I mean, this is an easy one.
This is really easy.
3 times.
That's
or none. Well, no, because you can't control the other 2. the other two officials. But
you can control whether or not.
I can get Tyrese Halliburton to the line 3 times.
I can blow a quick whistle
Easy.
and get him there.
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a dangerous thing to be putting out there, potentially.
It is an interesting thing, too, that he drives it a whole lot, but no fouls on this.
How many does he average during the year?
That's a good question. I haven't actually
I'll look that up while we continue talking.
And it's a weird anomaly that it hasn't happened at all in this series, right?
Especially when
three games.
The whole storyline of who he's playing against, the free throw merchant, as some people like to call him, but
Okay. Now here's a wrinkle. Halliburton only averages 3 free throws attempted per game on the season.
That's very low.
It's low. So if I got him there 4 times, I'm starting to look conspicuous.
Something's up, right? Something smells funny.
What's up, fool? Okay. One of my favorite things, today it's National Day, so we're just going to honorably mention it here. Chamoy. I love chamoy, and today is National Chamoy Day. Also, another birthday, or a set of birthdays, because they are twins, Mary-Kate and Mary-Kate Olsen and Ashley Olsen turned 39 today.
Wow.
I know.
They're almost 40?
They're almost 40. Okay,
Whoa.
crazy. I know. It makes me, I'm like, I remember when they were little. I still see them on TV as little girls. But are they the most famous twins in entertainment? Because there's others, and I actually like another set of twins, but are they the most famous or the ones that come to your mind when you think of celebrity twins?
They are, because I'm sitting here trying to Google, but even the list of names that come up on Google are not.
I give you another one, Tia and Tamara. I love them.
Yeah, but I still think I
was too old for that.
I think the Olsen twins are probably more famous than the Mowry twins, than Tia and Tamara. Although I did have a crush on Tia and Tamara.
They're beautiful.
Sister
they
days.
still look great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they've got to be the most famous twins in entertainment. I can't think of any others.
I can't even think of another option.
I mean, I think
Dylan Spruce, the
Sprouse
twins.
twins.
The Sprouse twins.
Their name is.
I don't know. Aside from what do they like the Sweet Life?
Yeah.
That and they played the kid in Big Daddy, if I remember correctly.
I didn't know that.
I did not know
they
that.
were, but there's only one kid, so they had to swap them out or whatever.
Can we just stop here for a second? Of everybody's got their own thing, the one thing that I am 100% creeped out by adult twins. I do not approve. It's cute when you're little.
They're matching and stuff.
Right. I do not approve of it. An old people twins.
They should not be matching if they're adults.
Oh God, no.
So what's the cutoff for when they can still match? Is there an age cutoff? If now you guys got to dress 9.
10.
So
Yeah.
I say that
Yeah.
because I had twins at my high school. These two guys who, even through high school, not only dressed the same, but they would walk to and from school together, and they would carry their backpacks on the same shoulder and walk in stride at the same time.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird.
I would tell my dad about this, and he thought I was making it up until he saw them walking down the street, at which point he started calling them Pete and Repeat. So that's it.
Hilarious.
That's it. Yeah. All right.
that was it for What's Up, Fool?
That was it for What's Up, Fool. All right. We're going to talk some Sam Presti and his entry into the music biz, which he doesn't, I guess, have faith in. But we'll talk about that in a little bit more coming up. Still another hour to go here. MGBK, Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
After another gritty performance by the Pacers in Game 3, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers look for a 3-1 series lead tonight. Pacers, Thunder, Game 4 in Indiana. Coverage tips off at 5:30 p.m. on 710 a.m. and the all-new ESPN LA app, the ESPN radio tile. Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. And Chumba Casino and Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. Meanwhile, Sedano and Cap will continue until 6 p.m. on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles and the Listen Live tile on the all-new ESPN LA app. The NBA Finals on 710 ESPN.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday Night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. Brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region, 13 years in a row in California once again.
Thanks, Dad, for all the wisdom you've passed down to me that I promised to start using. Someday. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Father's Day freebie. Dads get a slick mechanical pencil on Father's Day.
Number 2.
Billy Gardell, live July 12th.
And the #1 reason.
Extreme gift giveaway. Get an HD Eternal drone when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles, on the all-new ESPN LA app always. And, of course, sitting in today for Mason and Ireland on this Friday the 13th, once again, Brian Kamenetzky and Marcus Grant on 710.
So, well, first, let's let Miss Lauryn Hill do her thing. Has anyone written one album for so long as Lauryn Hill? Like, she has coasted on the success of this album that is like...
Because it's amazing.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. But it's like 30 years old now. And this is kind of it. This is a real thing.
Still slap.
You know, it does still slap. So we're talking about twins last hour.
Friday the 13th talk.
And Friday, the little Freaky Friday twin mix-up. So
twins are my clowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's like, I'm scared of clowns.
So you're scared of twins,
huh? I don't like twins, and especially again, if I'm walking out of the studio today, heading back to my car, and I see like two. Again, the older they get, the creepier it becomes. Mm-hmm. If I see like two 85-year-old twins just walking,
why are you hating on the older people?
It's not their fault. This is clearly my issue, not theirs. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying I'm going to steer wide of them. I don't approve.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So you're married.
Yes.
So let's pretend you're not. Okay. Let's just pretend you're not married. And you're like...
My wife tries that a
lot. In your 20s, right? They're adults. And two hot twins approach BK and be like, yo, what's up? You're still scared? Exactly.
I get over the fear.
You're getting two for the price of one, man.
No, I did once date a girl who had a twin sister.
Did you ever with the other one?
No.
Oh, okay, because that's weird. That's weird, but I've heard the twins do that to see and test their partners.
Which seems unfair, right? Like, don't do that. Don't pull that on me.
A, they were easy to tell apart, but B,
okay.
No, you shouldn't do that. But I don't think it would have worked out, because eventually I would have been like, you and your sister can't be in the same room together.
Yeah, because then you have
they weren't
thoughts.
identical, so it would have been okay. But like identical, like
so fraternal twins, you're cool with. It's identical twins.
Fraternal twins are fine.
Yeah.
So are you comfortable talking about the story of when your wife was pregnant? Because I don't want to bring up like personal stuff.
Oh well.
Now I did, but you know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we thought.
I was like the pregnancy.
I was like, wait, what?
What did I say?
What story that is? You know? So yeah, when with our oldest, the first ultrasound that we went to, the doctor thought maybe there might be a second little baby growing in there. And she's like, come back in a couple weeks and we'll let you know. And that was like,
that's a lot of stress for a couple
of
weeks.
Like at first it was like, that's 2 at one time. That's a lot of baby.
That's a lot of baby for a beginner at this thing.
My concern, other than being aware that what if I hate my adult children, but was more getting them mixed up. Like, what if as a parent, like 3 weeks in, because newborns who aren't twins look alike.
Yes,
I mean basically. And so you get, you forget to put their little tie on or something like that. They're coming out of the bathtub, and now I don't remember which one is which.
Right.
And so I somehow misaligned them, and now I'm raising Jimmy as Steve,
right.
and Steve as Jimmy for their entire lives. I've got it backwards. That was my concern.
How do you feel on twins with rhyming names?
That's on the parents. And it's not okay.
Like rhyming or alliteration or something like that.
Not okay.
Like nothing. No. That didn't work.
No.
All right.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that to your children.
That's
like
fair.
If you have siblings that aren't twins, don't give them all rhymey names. Like,
My sister has all her kids. Well, she was married and then divorced, whatever, and remarried. So from the first marriage, she has kids, and they all start with an N.
Okay.
And then the second one, they all start with an R.
So then you know which relationship those kids come from.
I have no clue how she handled that, but that's how. So one set is like all
make
N.
it easy to keep them sorted.
I mean, she should know without that, but I know parents that do that, right? They're all like, okay, so my kids are all going to start with this letter. Did you? Well, you only have one.
I have one, but I have a cousin, and all of her kids start with J. But also like her name starts with J, her husband starts with J, and then all of their kids. They had 4 daughters, all starting with the letter J. It's a lot of J's.
That's a lot. It feels like a lot.
A lot of J's.
It's a lot.
So Parker texted me. Sorry, guys. He said my uncle has 2 sets of twins. Not 1 set, but dos. That's a lot of kid, like in a short amount of time.
That is a lot of kid.
So crazy. No offense, Parker.
I mean, but like after the second set, you just look at your wife and you're like, "I'm sorry, we can't do this anymore."
Yeah,
someone's got to get fixed here because every time we have one of these
somebody
things,
better be the guy.
2 come out.
Yeah, that's a little much. That's a little.
My daughter did ask me like a couple weeks ago. She's 6. She desperately wants a baby brother, baby sister. Aww. She doesn't want to be the youngest anymore, and she asked me like, "Well, who would be more surprised if mommy had another baby? You or mommy?" And the answer is me because I've taken care of this problem.
Oh, yeah.
So
yes, you probably...
I would be the one who'd be more surprised by a lot.
Oh, man. Yeah, for sure.
Somebody's getting an angrily worded letter.
I was trying to figure out how do I transition to Sam Presti.
I was like, Sam Presti.
So, I was going to do this whole long workaround where like, well, the Lopez twins, they're twins who play basketball, and Sam Presti, it's a whole long walk around.
Yeah.
Sam Presti put out an album once upon a time. We're calling this a jazz rap album. Is that what it was? I believe Pablo Torre was the one who discovered this, or at least he's the one who brought it to the world on his show. Pablo Torre Finds Out. And so we got a clip of it because we listened to this and
Not bad.
I'll just let folks decide on their own what they think. Let's let it rip.
The album's 4th track, which is an original song titled Nothing to Lose.
Yo, here and gone is Mother Nature's sad song. That's why when we alive, we gotta strive and keep on. So shift in the drive now. Put your minds in it.
We're up in the loop with some gas and some minute.
Life's lesson, chapter 1, slice you a section from the paragraph, a word craft, a mic blast, an asset, an incline, slipped in the vinyl groove, pursued the paragraphs, the polar caps, interludes, laid back, lounge core depth, nothing to lose, and it reminiscent, glisten as I shifted the cruise, on paying dues, ain't about aggression, or how you dressing, it's progression of minds that can't be learned in one session, that's why confession to the self.
I'm not gonna lie, back in the mid-90s, 17-year-old Marcas would have had this spinning in the Discman. Like it would have been steady in the Discman for sure. it's got like a Diggable Planets kind of feel to it. You know, 'cause
it's a little bit like the way the Thunder were built. Like, it's not great at the beginning, but it builds into something that's pretty good.
Right, because you're like, I don't know if this is going to work out. And you're like, this is coming together pretty nicely.
To add a little bit on top of that initial track. And, like, it's... I mean, that sample, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. And this fits because I remember in the 90s, the mid-90s, there was a big trend where like jazz and hip-hop were sort of combining, and a lot of artists were taking jazz tracks and stuff like that. But now apparently this has been scrubbed from the internet, is what we hear.
Yeah, so Parker, shout out to Parker, who's in the back. He's the one that brought it to our attention. I was like, yo, this is actually not bad, right, Parker?
Yeah. So,
listen, guys, we're going to give you airtime. Be ready. Be ready.
They have other responsibilities.
I'm so far from the button, I can't even click it. But Sam Presti, he wanted it completely wiped. And Pablo Torre found it. It's nowhere on Apple Music, nowhere on Spotify. And YouTube, you can't even find it.
Listen, Pablo Torre will find what you do not want out. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's why it's called Pablo Torre Finds Out.
I feel like you could take that. Like, it's certainly better than a lot of other non-musician efforts in music. Like, for sure.
For sure.
But, like, you could take that and combine it with the Total Wine.
Oh, that's a solid playlist.
You got something.
That's a solid foundation to a playlist. And so what it immediately made me think of too. So back in the early '90s, mid '90s, a bunch of NBA players got together and put together their own rap compilation.
Oh God!
It was back when I was doing college radio. We would play a track off of it every so often. It was called B-Ball's Best Kept Secret. So it had Shaq, you know, when he was still rapping consistently. Cedric Ceballos did a track with Warren G. Brian Shaw, Jason Kidd, J.R. Ryder, Dennis Scott. It is a whole bunch of guys who were like, you know, big names in the NBA in the 90s. And I remember like listening to it at the time, like a lot of them weren't good. You know, the Shaq one was fine. You know, we knew Shaq as a rapper.
Oh God, he was terrible.
The Jason Kidd one was pretty awful. Cedric Ceballos, I know, had a couple of tracks.
Who was the guy who did the drop the album and it sold like 14 copies? It was an NBA guy, and he put out, and it was a total bomb.
Oh, I don't know.
My brother's listening; he'll know.
I'm like, nah, I'm going to Google this. But yeah, B-Ball's Best Kept Secret was one. Like, I think you can still find some of the tracks on YouTube. Sam Presti, what he did blows all of those tracks out of the water. And maybe it's just the production value. Maybe it's just the beats.
Former Minnesota guard Troy Hudson.
Oh.
His album Undrafted sold 78 copies.
So not only is he undrafted, it was unsold.
Damn. Here's the thing. This sparked my curiosity, right? So there's definitely albums that need to be scrubbed off the internet because Lord Jesus, we know they bad.
Mm-hmm.
But two things came to my mind when this came to our ears when Parker brought it. One, who here would actually have the cojones to drop a rap album, right? From all of us, not just the talent, but just anybody that works here, like on the content side. One. Two, what would they name it? And then the other thing that has nothing to do with music, what would you want scrub off the internet that is out there about you? You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like those are the questions that came to my mind when I was like, why would you scrub that? That wasn't actually that bad.
I did an episode of radio a couple years ago. That was apparently really bad. I wouldn't mind.
I'm just saying, you know.
Who'd be the person who would try rapping is Cappy.
Yeah, that was my first thought. In terms of like having the cojones to do it, it's Cappy, and he would call it like straight out of South South.
Yeah, well, there goes my tease, Brian. Thank you.
Did I step on it? My bad.
No, that tracks. They would definitely be Cappy.
It definitely Cappy. But as for who could put together a good one, I think that's something we gotta think about.
I don't know. Any of us could put a good one.
I know.
Well, Mario doesn't count.
Mario does not count.
Mario does not count.
That's not
and
fair.
Who's the least likely to do it? This is an easy one too.
Ireland.
No, Ireland. John would do it.
Here's some Mario. He already got it out.
It wouldn't be good, but John would totally do it.
Yeah, no, Mario's that isn't. Mario's not fair.
Doesn't count.
That's an unfair.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out of this conversation.
There's a 0% chance Travis Rogers is recording a rap album.
I think it would be between him and Ireland.
Nope. John would do it.
For money. Like, if you bet him
$100.
We'd all do it for money,
There
right?
is no amount of, well, that's not true. There is an amount of money. But like short of that, like there is no way Travis is recording a rap album that people have to listen to without it turning into a gazillionaire. 0% chance he'll do that.
That's true.
None.
I don't know. Would Mace do one?
I think Mace would. He has 2 chains, okay? He was trying to get Icy Chain from O'Shea yesterday in a grill.
All right.
Like, yeah.
What won't Steve do for attention?
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm not going there.
I want to be invited back on this show. That's I'm not going to go there either.
Rap?
We'll kick around the idea of who could put together a rap album or who wouldn't put together a rap album here. Stick around for more. Mason Ireland, MG, BK, in for the guys here on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Chris Morales. Feel Good Friday is on. And this afternoon at 3 p.m., Sedano and Cap becomes Morales and Cap. How about that, Cappy? I'm headed down to South to do the show at Cappy's house, the compound. We'll have fun and variety. We'll talk to Shidano live from Indiana as we get ready for Game 4. Dodgers, Giants, Angels baseball, U.S. Open, and we've got LAFC with a big match ahead. All of that. Plus, of course, fun and frivolity. Will Cappy and I share food? I'm bringing dude wipes, too, by the way. And it's Friday, the 13th. What will producer Lindsay Baseball have in store for us, huh?
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha!
We'll talk to you at 3 p.m. and we got YouTube only at 5:30. Join us for a Feel Good Friday this Friday afternoon. Shidano and Cap. Actually, Morales and Cap. Coming up on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
It's time for the Black and Gold Report. The latest news surrounding LAFC and a look at the upcoming matchup. Powered by Ocean Subaru of Fullerton.
The Black and Gold step into the FIFA Club World Cup this coming Monday at noon as they battle Premier League giants Chelsea. And Olivier Giroud looks forward to facing his former squad.
We will give our best to make our fans proud, and to show we work well at training for the club. And we have also a good team, so let's see, it's going to be interesting.
Coming out of the group stage won't be easy for the Black and Gold as they will play 3 games in 3 different cities in a span of just 9 days. And facing teams like Chelsea, Flamengo, and Esperance de Tunis, LAFC look to show why they belong on the world stage.
And that's the Black and Gold Report, powered by Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where every journey starts with love. Go to OceanSubaruOC.com for more info. OceanSubaruOC.com. Go Black and Gold.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? Just 9 miles from downtown LA and near the 710 freeway, it's completely reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and upgraded amenities. We're also home to California's largest card room jackpot ever, $3.7 million. New players score $30 in match play when they say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino, come see what everyone's talking about.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GGR 001291. GAR 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where vapes are anti-aging. Because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, weekdays noon to 3. You're home for real Dodgers talk and super hot takes.
All right, so ready for super hot takes?
I'm a general.
Super hot take for promo. Okay. Ready? Ireland?
Yeah, more of the fellas. Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN and always on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
Is this really better than Sam Presti?
No, but it definitely has a '90s feel to it.
Oh yeah, well he's got a lot, and he's got a lot of help there, and there's more production. Like I feel like Sam Presti is bootstrapping this thing.
Shaq with Ill Al Scratch from B-Ball's Best Kept Secret. Some of these songs should have been kept a secret.
Ill Al Scratch.
Ill Al Scratch, you know. Ill Al Scratch, of course. This is all because we were talking about Sam.
I'm not familiar with his work.
We were talking about Sam Presti and his musical exploits. Which, but wait. First, before we get into that, it's ESPN's LA Legends launch presented by Legends Attic. It's all part of ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday Night on July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Step up to the plate and take your shot in a high-energy challenge to hit as many balls as you can in 90 seconds. Bring your own bat and helmet. Bring that big swing because spots are limited. Head to ESPNLA.com right now to reserve your spot. Step up, swing big, be legendary. We're talking about Sam Presti and his musical exploits. His we're calling it a jazz rap album, I guess.
That's basically what it was,
right?
And it sounds basically like what you would think a Sam Presti jazz, because like you look at like how he operates and what he looks like, and like that guy's not going to come out and make some sort of hardcore gangsta album.
No.
You know, I mean, he's going to dive into that. You know, jazzy Diggable Planets was the reference that you made. I think that fits.
Yeah, so we were trying to figure out who here could or would make a rap album. I think we all universally think that Cappy for sure would make a rap album.
Would it be good? We don't know. We probably no. Let's be real. It wouldn't.
So now we're trying to figure out who would make one that might actually be good. And my first thought, I thought Parker, but I feel like Parker Bell along with DeAndre together would put together a pretty good album.
I don't know.
And I think BC on the boards, like with production here, could really make this thing sing.
Would be a good team.
Yeah.
I think Briones can also, because he's good at like doing the video thing. So, you know, you guys get the 4 guys. But Parker, listen, I know you guys have a lot of creativity. I think you guys have a lot of talent. But I don't know if you and D can spit bars.
Ooh, okay. The lack of faith disturbs me.
Challenge accepted.
Listen, we're taking requests. We're taking requests. Everybody in the YouTube chat, everybody on socials, hit me and D. What do you want to hear? We will drop a song just for BK and Marcus Grant.
Wow. I mean,
dedicated to both of you guys.
This could just be me, like, you know, judging a book by its cover. But I just feel like Parker, like the way he's rocking the Angels bucket hat right now.
Okay, Angels, first of all.
But see, here's the thing. That's the thing about being a rapper, right? Like, you don't, like, I think wearing a Yankee hat or a Dodger hat, like, it's played out. Everybody does that. So you got to find that team that's sort of hip, right? That like nobody.
He doesn't want to be Drake, bro. This give me Drakey vibes, you know.
Drake, you're comparing me to Drake right now, Laura?
I mean, that's not a bad comparison. Let's be real, either. You know what I'm saying?
I could be a certified lover boy this summer, so I'll drop some heat. Listen,
F-boy.
I'm pulling DeAndre later today. We're gonna hop on MLB The Show, and while we play, we will also rap. Okay, so we got you guys.
Can you guys put this like on Twitch or something? Like, so we can.
We should stream. You know what? We could start a movement.
You should Twitch stream it.
ESPN LA After Dark streaming MLB The Show, 2K, whatever you guys want.
All right. Kill his mic.
All right. I mean, there it is.
You know who I think would be kind of sneaky good, like a good team? Kirk and DeMarco.
Interesting.
Because they got
former
stories.
Athletes.
They got stories for day. And DeMarco was on an Ellie video. putting on shoes, but still on a Nelly
really?
video.
I don't think I knew this about
Wait,
DeMarco.
what? How do you not know that DeMarco was in the Nelly video?
I mean, I understand the connection. Like, I get it. Oh, was he in the Air Force One
Yeah.
video? Oh, now I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, he's like, I'll send it to you.
All
He's
right.
in there. I did not know that you didn't know.
I was not aware. I was
They
today,
talk about it a
as
lot.
they say, I was today years old when I found out
Yeah.
about that. Huh. All right. So we're trying to figure out who would not make one. And I know, Laura, you said John Ireland.
I honestly think, well, listen, if we're asking, hey, do a rap album for ESPN LA, Ireland is like, if it was any other day, 100%. That's what his answer would be. Now, if you tell him, I bet you X amount of dollars, he would do it. And then
Just offer him
that's
$100.
just-
John's
you know what I mean?
mantra is, I will do anything for $100.
Right. So that's why I feel like if money has to be involved. But if no money would be involved, I think he wouldn't do it.
Like, I don't think Sedano would ever do one. Like, see, whereas Cappy would run headlong into the experience of doing one, like George would stand back and say there's no chance you're getting
But
involved.
do you think
in
in his
this.
head he'd be like, totally could?
Oh, no, absolutely. No,
Yeah, I don't want to.
The Cuban
he would
heat, that's what it would be
believe he
called.
could.
But I could.
I could. If I really wanted to, I could make a
I
great
totally
album.
do this.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it.
I don't want to. Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, all of us, probably not great, besides Mario. So we leave it up to
Probably
that.
not.
Probably
great.
not.
I think that's a safe prediction.
I think that's a pretty
it's
fair,
pretty safe.
Pretty safe comparison. The Dodgers, I don't know if they made a rap album, but they're good at baseball. Big series coming up this weekend against the San Francisco Giants, starting tonight, 7:10. Logan Webb against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. When this whole gauntlet started, right? They think 28 games against teams with winning records. They are most of the way through it. 7 games left. They are still in first place. A game up on the Giants. 2 games up on the Padres. Bill Plaschke said before this thing started that he thought by the end of this stretch they would be out of playoff contention and have to fight their way back in. I've said I have nothing against Bill Plaschke. I just wanted him to be wrong. This feels like a best-case scenario. And, Brian, if they come out of this in first place, do they run away with the division from then on?
Well, because, I mean, it's going to balance back out. Like, by definition, if you play all of these teams that are good, you're going to play some that are bad.
Right.
Like, surely they play the Rockies again before the end of the season.
Yes.
I look at it as individual moments throughout. Like, winning the 3rd game against San Diego was a really big deal. You look at this series, you need to win when Yamamoto pitches, especially at home.
Yeah.
Like, these are important games. And so, if you win tonight, chances are, at the very least, you're in first, you're in second, you're tied. Like, you're playing the 2 teams that are chasing you over the next week. So if you split, you're still probably, in first place, or 4-3, 3-4, whatever it turns out to be.
Right.
If I think this shows, like, the fact that we're even having this, like, there has been no prolonged slump. They've won a couple, lost a couple, but they've did very well in the Yankees series. This is a really good team.
Yeah.
And they are run well, they're managed well, they put the right guys in the right spots to pitch the right stuff. Like, and they do things professionally in a way. Like, even Conforto, who has been, like, statistically the worst hitter in baseball this season, still, if you look at it over the last, like, 3 or 4 weeks, has an OBP of, like, 380 because he's walking every third at bat. Like, they just figure out ways to get this done. And when they lose, a game like, get shut out the other night, you have Kike just thrown in the 6th. It's like they give up the games that they need to give up, and they win the games that they need to win.
That, I think, too, is a benefit of this team being so good and just sort of knowing they're going to be in the playoffs, is that you can sort of, I won't say give up or throw a game.
No, they threw that game.
But, you get
100% threw the sour game last week.
Well, you get to a point where it's like,
week.
you understand, like, hey, look, this is 1 game out of 162, and we're going to win 95 games this year.
Right, and it worked, by the way, because they came back the next day and won a bullpen game. Like, everybody's like, how are you giving away a game? What are you doing? These are professionals. Because if you burn 3 or 4 of those guys to try to chase a game against, who was it? Dylan Cease was pitching that game. You're not going to win.
Yeah.
So why lose 2 games? Just lose the 1.
Yeah.
And, that set them up for 3 or 4 more games.
For sure. I said in our text chat for the Blue Review that it felt like that NLCS game last year, Game 5, where it's like, you know what, Brent Honeywell, you're going to come out here and you're going to eat 4-5 innings because we know we're probably not going to win this game, so why burn the bullpen? And then they end up winning the NLCS, and obviously they win the World Series. I know we like to dump on Dave Roberts. People do. The fans do. Every now and then we should admit that the guy kind of knows what he's doing. In the dugout.
And it's a collaborative effort here. So, but like, who are you going to get that's better? That's the thing I always come back to with baseball. It's like, let's fire Dave Roberts because he doesn't win the World Series every year. Well, they get pretty close damn near every year, and they should based on that talent. But I need to know, like, do you want to be the Knicks? We're just going to fire our coach and just ask if we can steal somebody else's. Like, that seems to be their plan.
How's that working out for him?
Not well. And so if you fire Dave Roberts, you need to show me who is going to be better than Andy and I used to cover the Dodgers back when Grady Little was the manager.
Okay.
Oh my God, everybody hated Grady Little. Does this. I mean, I'm a nice guy. I like talking to Grady. But he does this, they fire Grady, they bring in Joe Torre. Does the exact same stuff. Uses the bullpen the same way, burns out his pitchers, does all this stuff. Everybody, but it's Joe Torre. So we're cool. Yeah. So, you don't like what Dave Roberts does, but guess what? The next guy who's going to come in is probably going to in-game manage exactly the same way that Roberts does, except what he probably won't be is as good at the culture stuff, the clubhouse management, all that, which over 162 games in a $7 gajillion payroll is more important.
Yeah.
So shut up, everyone. That's right.
Angry Brian.
Brian has spoken. No, look, man, the Dodgers.
Dave Roberts stands sitting over here.
They're 41-28. They're in first place in the division. I know for all of our hand wringing, maybe we should just stop and take a deep breath for a little bit. But a lot of fun this weekend should be between the Giants and the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Gets started tonight. Webb versus Yamamoto. Jackie Chan. He's 71 years old. He says he is not an action star anymore. He will explain why. I mean, besides the fact that he's 71 years old. Marcas Grant, Brian Kamenetzky, Information in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
After another gritty performance by the Pacers in Game 3, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers look for a 3-1 series lead tonight. Pacers, Thunder, Game 4 in Indiana. Coverage tips off at 5:30 p.m. on 710 a.m. and the all-new ESPN LA app, the ESPN radio tile. Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. And Chumba Casino and Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. Meanwhile, Sedano and Cap will continue until 6 p.m. on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles and the Listen Live tile on the all-new ESPN LA app. The NBA Finals on 710 ESPN.
Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. ESPN LA All-Star Student, brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region once again. Come see what all the fun is about.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
USC football is more than a game. It's tradition, pride, and unforgettable Saturdays in the Coliseum. Be there for every kickoff, every touchdown, and every unforgettable moment this season. Secure your football season tickets today and lock in the best seats, exclusive fan benefits, and memories that last a lifetime. Don't miss out. We need you in the stands. Visit USCTrojans.com or call 213-740-GO-SC.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Harry Douglas here. Picture this. You're staying at a hotel, about to take an important video call, but the Wi-Fi is slower than 1997 dial-up. You struggle with your phone's hotspot as clients complain about your connection. These stressful situations don't have to happen, folks. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you get free, high-speed Wi-Fi to handle critical emails, join meetings on time, and even unwind with your favorite shows. No more worrying about spotty connections. Enjoy stress-free stays with reliable Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles, on the all-new ESPN LA app always. And, of course, sitting in today for Mason and Ireland on this Friday the 13th, once again, Brian Kamenetzky and Marcas Grant on 710.
Life is like a boo game, let me explain, so kick back, relax, and let your mind maintain. Mom used to
want to play in ESPN LA's second annual listeners game? Visit ESPNLA.com now for your chance to secure a roster spot. Don't miss the chance to play for either Team Travis or Team DeMarco. Visit ESPNLA.com today, thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. So Father's Day is this Sunday. I was saying during the break
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
To both.
Thank you. Saying that I have a bit of a reprieve. I have my dad is actually vacationing in Europe right now. He just left a couple days ago, so he's not gonna be back for a few weeks. So I have
a grace period.
I have a grace period, right? Like, I mean, I guess I could send something to him, but it was gonna sit on his doorstep for a couple of weeks, so I can hang on to that. Are you expecting a gift, Brian Kamenetzky, for Father's Day?
No. Oh, actually, no. I'll take one. What I really would like, and this is the gift, is like, just let me sleep.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not talking to like 11:30. I can't sleep that late, but like not 6.
Yeah. Right.
I want to wake up at 8:30, 8:45.
And not even so much wake up then, but just like, if I can just lay in the bed and no one bothers me for a couple of hours, like that's all I kind of need.
And then I'm going to go get my breakfast burrito. Like, you talk about days that you allow the breakfast burrito, and you say, to your cardiologist, whatever. Birthday,
Okay.
Father's Day.
See,
it's a breakfast burrito days.
It's really hard because, like, my mom, both of my parents are very blessed that they don't really need anything. So it's always really hard for me to find something to give them. I bought my dad a ring because I had bought him one last year for his birthday, and he lost it, and he felt so guilty. He goes, "I'm so sorry. I know it was expensive." I was like, first of all, you don't know what it costs. Relax. It was, but it's fine. Like, you don't want to tell them that because I knew he felt really bad. So I bought him something similar, but the stupid thing didn't ship till yesterday. So it's definitely not coming for Father's Day. So I'm like, I have to make it up. But I always hear from mothers that that's what they want. They're like, I don't want to think about where I'm going to go eat. I don't want to think about what I'm going to do for the day. Just let me be. Is that the same, clearly, from what you guys are saying?
Yeah.
Father's Day? Just like, let me have my own day?
That's like the gift of like peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Is kind of it.
The aggressive parenting is like what you can get. I mean, like, we get stuff and we like to open it and whatever, but like, my job is like to keep the kids out of the way.
Right. Yeah, I'm also bad at knowing what I want for things. People are like, so what do you want for your birthday, Father's Day, Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, because most of the things, like, if I really want something, I'll just go get it.
Get it yourself.
Right.
I'll get it myself, right? So, like,
and
when it comes
if
to that,
it's something big, like, 50th birthday's coming up next year, like, there are a couple things, right? If you want to get me something. A couple things that I'm thinking of, like, I would like to get, but they're more expensive, like, things, treats for yourself, whatever it might be. I'm not asking for that for
It's
Father's Day.
It's hard to ask for that kind of thing.
$1,500 gift for Father's Day.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, no. So I think I defaulted on like I don't know, like a new pair of shoes or something. I think that's why I just fell back on that.
I want a blender. Our blender broke.
Oh, there you go.
So random. I want a blender. Do you want like a Ninja, like the $300 one?
Those are pretty sweet.
But those are sweet.
I don't know if we have the $300 one, but those are pretty good.
I have a blender that I bought when I moved out a few years ago, and it's just sitting pretty because I don't use it. My mom's like, "Why did you spend the money?" I'm like, "Because it looks pretty on my kitchen."
I will say this. I do love a good kitchen accessory.
Yes.
You know, like my favoriteest things in my kitchen. I have like a Dutch oven and a wok, and I've got one of those weird European like IKEA can openers, but it cuts the whole outside top of the can and lifts the whole top of it off.
That's nice.
What is it? The rotator that does it by itself?
I don't have the one that does it by itself. Mine's actually manual, but it's still kind of sweet. Like it just takes the whole top off the can. You don't have those weird jagged edges to like cut yourself.
You got an air fryer?
I love my air fryer. Do not get me started on how much I love my air fryer.
I have an air fryer, but I end up using we have this thing that it calls itself an air fryer, but it's probably more of a toaster oven, and we use that.
That's what you should get for Father's Day.
An air fryer? I have one.
No, get a real good. Get a
good
one.
one.
A good one?
Yes.
All right.
I cook everything
You
in
can
there.
air fry
steak. Anything. Yes. Well, the steak you don't put it on the air fry mode, but I'll show you the video of the steak that I did, and nobody believes that I did it on the air fryer.
Salmon in the air fryer?
I haven't tried it.
I did get a smoker a couple years ago.
It's a lot of work, though.
Do you have the egg?
I have a version of the egg. It's not the
Like the
actual
green one, egg or
brand.
whatever?
It's not that actual brand, but like it looks pretty identical to it.
They're amazing.
Is it
They're
like
amazing.
the GoBots version of the egg?
It's the egg
is the Transformers. Is that
the
a
eggs-
GoBot?
The eggs, yeah, I think like this is kind of the GoBot, but it's a really high quality GoBot. Like it's a great GoBot. Yeah, it is a lot of work though because to like get it heated up and stuff, and
That's why I love that. So I'm also old enough that I still wish one of my friends in college dated a guy who made a canoe. Out of a piece of wood, he made a canoe.
Seriously?
Wow.
It's like a furniture guy, a carpenter, whatever. And one of the things he did was he made a canoe. I've never had a bigger man crush on somebody than this guy who made a canoe. Because I always wish that I was like a person who could make furniture or make a canoe or frankly make
you're not
anything.
handy?
Not terribly.
not
no.
like that. That's a different level of handy.
That's craftsman level handy. I so wish I could do that.
I found out the quickest, ladies, well, maybe I shouldn't say this because the guys will not do it, but the quickest way to get any man to do something you want, I told Christian, I was like, hey, can you do this for me? It was like hang something up on the wall or whatever, right? And then he was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And I asked him again, yeah, I'll get to it. The third time I was like, screw it, I'm going to try to do it myself. He's like, I told you I was going to get to it. I was like, no, you're just not handy. Oh my God. The quickest thing he's ever done is get up and put that thing on the wall. I'm like, oh, that's how I get you.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, like little things like that. Like I can do stuff, right? My wife, I think, overestimates my craftsman and handiness.
I definitely underestimate.
Like one day we were sitting on the couch watching television, and she looked at me and she says, "Do you think you can build a pergola?" And I said,
"Whoa,
I absolutely cannot build a pergola. No, like I appreciate your belief that I could do something like that, but no, that is not a thing that I can do."
I have faith in a lot of you guys in this building, all the men in this building. I think I can probably say 2 out of everybody in that board that could probably build something. Briones being one, and Brian Cohen because he does a lot of car.
Are you crafty like that, Brian?
Anything that I could find on YouTube. And I kind of have a general rule. If YouTube can do it in about 20 minutes, then I should be able to do it in an hour, and then I'll give it a shot.
All right.
So did you build a canoe?
If they could do it on YouTube in 20 minutes, I probably could.
The YouTube 20-minute canoe.
Oh, man. Yeah, I do learn a lot of things on YouTube, but I've not learned how to build a canoe. That's probably above my favorite.
I was just like, oh, my God.
Yeah. I'd be impressed.
I love you.
What do we got next? Is it Game of Games? Game of Games.
Brian's game.
We know it's a Friday the 13th theme. Looking forward to it. Should be kind of spooky, so stick around for that. Marcus Grant, Brian Kamenetzky in for the guys. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station.
Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood, carpet, and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the next phase in my therapeutic work.
Nicole Kidman returns for the Hulu original 9 Perfect Strangers Season 2.
Breathe in, breathe out.
This is safe?
We take you back to a core trauma. Breathe in, breathe out.
She is manipulating us.
Breathe in, breathe out. While you're resisting.
Is it too late to get a refund? The all-new season of 9 Perfect Strangers is now streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. New episodes Wednesdays.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
No Mace, but we do have Game of Games. Funchy, you're here.
I am.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I've been told that you're not supposed to be here.
No, actually, Mason Ireland banned me from Game of Games earlier this week because we were busy prepping for the Sedano in Cap show.
But do you guys really need like 5 people to prep? Like,
I mean,
let's
at that
be
moment,
real.
and at that moment, yes, we did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We can't come and play your special
show
game.
is the best on the
But
radio.
listen, you know, I'm done with Mason Ireland. You guys are my guys. You guys are the type of guys I would like pick up from the airport or like help with a move or something. You know.
Oh, you guys
Mason
better
Ireland
like
is banned from that
note
list.
Can you make me a
Also, I'm just putting it out there that he unbanned himself.
You don't want to get in trouble?
Why don't you
want to get in trouble? Why?
Because I like my job.
You can't stand up to him?
No, I definitely can, but I also know that you got banned.
I just want to be invited back on this show, so I just want to know that I had nothing to do with it.
Come on.
I had nothing to do with it.
Get out of here.
That's all it is.
Anyways, Brian, it's your game.
It's your game.
All right, so Friday the 13th today, spooky Friday 13th game. Everything kind of evolving around the Friday 13th. So I'll kick you guys off here. All multiple choice. Number 1, a calendar year can have anywhere from 1 to how many Friday the 13th? 2, 3, or 4? Start with you, Marcus.
Ooh, I'm going to say 3.
BK?
2.
Funch?
3.
Laura?
I have no idea what it was. I'll go 3.
It is 3.
There you go.
Hey. Have only
Everybody
up to
but
3.
BK.
Number 2, how many Friday the 13th movies have there been? 15, 13, or 12? We'll start with you, BK.
Not enough. 13.
Punch.
15. I believe they're going to reboot it again.
Laura.
I'll go 13.
Marcus.
I'm going to say 12.
And you're happy you did. Only 12 movies.
Wait.
I would have figured they'd made it 13.
Did they count the Freddy versus Jason
They
has
did,
one?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all
they
right.
did.
13 felt too on the nose.
Well, apparently there's a
Jason goes to
conspiracy.
space.
They're not allowed to do a 13th or something like that. So
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
No way.
Which is
Wow.
kind of weird,
All
Friday
right.
13th, you would think.
That's why I went there.
Right. All right, number 3 here. The Friday the 13th movie franchise saw Jason go to Manhattan, Hell, outer space. But what was the camp's name where it all started? Camp Crystal Lake, Camp Whispering Pines, or Camp Raven Creek? Start with you, Funch.
Come on, man. Crystal Lake.
Laura?
I'll go Crystal Lake.
Marcus?
Crystal Lake.
BK?
Whispering Pines. Come on. Crystal Lake.
And you're on the board. It is. Crystal Lake.
Yeah, we all got that.
Number 4 here. What superstition do some believe that if you do today on Friday the 13th will lead to a death of a family member? Horseback riding, eating with 13 people, or getting a haircut? I think this is
What?
you, Laura.
I'll go with riding a horse.
Marcus?
Getting a haircut.
BK?
What was the question? Wait, what?
Yeah.
There's a superstition in culture that if you do this on Friday the 13th, it will lead to a death of a family member. Horseback riding, eating with 13 people, getting a haircut.
Horseback riding.
Punch.
Eating with 13 people.
Laura?
I said horse.
I don't know 13.
It is getting a haircut. So Marcus
Oh.
in the lead with 4.
Yeah, he hasn't missed one.
Number 5 here. In Italy, 13 is typically considered a lucky number. What day is considered bad luck in Italy? Monday the 7th, Wednesday the 11th, or Friday the 17th? I think this is back to you, Marcus.
Was it Monday the 7th? Was that the first one?
That was, yes.
All right, we'll do that one.
BK?
I'm going to say Monday the 7th as well.
Punch.
What's the second one?
Wednesday the 11th.
Wednesday the 11th.
Laura?
Monday the 7th.
Ooh, nobody. It's Friday the 17th is what they consider their unlucky day.
All right,
I figured
score
Mondays are bad luck
update.
anyway.
Score update. Marcus has 4. BK has 1. Funchy and I both have 2.
Cool. Which of these is not a counter for bad luck on Friday the 13th? A, seeing a butterfly. B, picking up a penny. Or C, carrying a rabbit's foot. So
Certainly
which
not
is
getting a
not a
haircut.
counter?
What is not?
Not a counter.
The first one. What was that?
Seeing a butterfly.
Yeah, seeing a butterfly.
Laura?
I'll do the penny.
Marcus?
I'll go butterfly.
And BK.
I got to pick something different. What was my other option?
The rabbit's foot.
I'll do that one.
It is seeing a butterfly. So if you carry a rabbit's foot, pick up a penny, it's considered good luck today.
There you go.
All right, Marcus, you got on the board, and Funchy got on the board here.
All right.
Trying to catch up.
Number 7 here. Which famous rapper was killed on Friday the 13th? Is it Biggie?
Sam Presti.
Oh, God.
Biggie, Tupac, or Jam Master Jay? And we'll start with the leaders here, so we'll go Marcus.
I think it was Jam Master Jay.
Punch?
Process of elimination. I think Marcus might be right. Jam Master J.
Laura?
I'll go Pac.
And BK.
I got to say someone different. I'll say Biggie.
And it is Tupac. Tupac.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Got the only one on the board for that one.
Which president was especially superstitious on the holiday, avoiding 13th guests and refusing to travel on the 13th day of any month? Was it JFK, FDR, or LBJ? And we'll stay with you, Marcus.
I'm going to say FDR.
Punch?
I'm going to say LBJ. Who's
Laura?
a paranoid guy?
I'm also going to go LBJ.
And BK.
JFK.
It is FDR. Marcus
Hey.
right away with this one here. Yeah.
Okay.
It was old enough, like, they still believed in a lot of superstitions
Yeah.
way back
How many do you have,
I
Brian?
got one left, so I think Marcus actually
Marcus
just won it.
took it. Yeah.
I'll give it to you. I'll give you the question anyway. It's a
All
fun
right.
one. Which heavy metal band released their debut album on Friday the 13th? Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, or Slipknot?
I was going to say was gonna say Black Sabbath. I'm gonna stick with Black Sabbath. I'll go Black Sabbath.
Same.
That sounds like a Slipknot thing.
I'll go Black Sabbath, and then BK.
I feel like Slipknot only ends up on this list if it's the answer.
Well, I try to think of something, but it is Black Sabbath.
Marcus's day.
I was between Black Sabbath and Slipknot. Because I'm like, that feels kind of Slipknot-y.
Domination.
Yeah, so, I'm either really good at Game of Games
really
or I'm really
bad.
awful. Like, there's no in between.
That is very true. Because
Like-
when he wins by a landslide.
Right? Like, but when I'm here and I'm bad, it's like I maybe get one.
Yep.
So it's it.
I'm gonna give you the tiebreaker just because it's a crazy
Yes.
number. I'm not
Yes,
gonna let
please.
you guess, but so according to the Phobia Institute of North Carolina, there are 21 million people that have a real fear of Friday the 13th and landing on this day, which is pretty wild, no?
Yeah,
21 million
21
people
million.
in the United States.
That's a lot of people.
I get that.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Do you guys have any superstitions? Like anything that you feel like you have to do in certain situations?
I do not put my purse on the floor.
Okay.
Like, that's a thing, like, I grew
did
up
see
on.
that when I was making this game.
I-
that was
Yeah.
one.
I know a lot of women who do that.
Yeah,
They
that's
actually
like a
have,
thing.
a lot of
My
places
wife.
have little hooks, like
Yes.
under the bar or under the table.
That's
for
a
that.
whole thing. We do not put our.
Because what it means your money is going to run out on
Yes,
you, right? That's
correct.
what it means.
I still don't walk under ladders.
That just seems like common sense and
Yeah,
safety.
exactly.
Why would I
That
do
just
that?
I
feels
don't
like
know. I
that
mean,
feels
if
like
it
a
was one
safety
way
thing.
easier to go through a ladder, then I'm still not going through it.
Well, you're pretty tall, too, so, that's kind of hard.
Where are you going that you can't walk around the ladder? Like, it takes you so far out of your way to walk around the ladder. What size ladder are we talking
You don't know
about?
where I go. You don't want to know.
You don't know what streets he's in, BK?
That's true. These streets.
Yeah, I don't think I have any in real life. I think
No.
I have some baseball superstitions because
Like
baseball folks are the most superstitious.
That is true.
wearing the same underwear when you play.
So actually, when I watch sports in general, like if I come into a game late, like when I turn it on, if my team is leading or doing well, and when I start watching it, they're doing poorly, I'll turn it off.
Yeah, I do that.
I've missed whole games because of that. Because like it was going bad when I turned it on. I'm just not gonna watch it anymore.
I'm like,
That's it.
along those lines, Edmonton Oiler fans owe me a debt of gratitude because I turned on the game yesterday with like 2 minutes left at the end of the overtime. They win.
I'll text my buddy about that. I'll let him know.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
Edmonton.
I like especially for like USC football. Like if I'm wearing USC gear and they lose, well then that's just because they didn't play well and they lost. If I'm not wearing USC gear and they lose, then I shoulder some of the responsibility for that. It's partially my fault. So there it is. Got a little Super Crosstalk coming up next, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We got Cappy and Morales live from South.
Cappy and Morales. So this is going to be a train wreck. Stick around. Make sure you
Are they having a
check that.
sleepover? What are we doing?
That's going to be
Yeah.
wild. Funchy, thanks for stopping by for Game of Games.
Thank you.
Unbanned.
Hopefully we can take your wanted poster down off the wall now.
Yeah, you could.
All right, sweet. Sounds good. We got a little bit more coming up. Stick around. Marcus Grant, Brian Kamenetzky in for Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Chris Morales. Feel Good Friday is on. And this afternoon at 3 p.m., Sedano and Cap becomes Morales and Cap. How about that, Cappy? I'm headed down to South to do the show at Cappy's house, the compound. We'll have fun at Frivolity. We'll talk to Shidano live from Indiana as we get ready for Game 4. Dodgers, Giants, Angels baseball, U.S. Open, and we've got LAFC with a big match ahead. All of that. Plus, of course, fun and Frivolity. Will Cappy and I share food? I'm bringing dude wipes, too, by the way. And it's Friday, the 13th. What will producer Lindsay Baseball have in store for us, huh?
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha!
We'll talk to you at 3 p.m. and we got YouTube only at 5:30. Join us for a Feel Good Friday this Friday afternoon. Shidano and Cap. Actually, Morales and Cap. Coming up on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Thanks, Dad, for all the wisdom you've passed down to me that I promised to start using. Someday. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Father's Day freebie. Dads get a sleek mechanical pencil free on Father's Day.
Number 2.
Billy Gardell, live July 12th.
And the number 1 reason.
Extreme gift giveaway. Get an HD Eternal drone when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
Post Malone presents the Big Ass Stadium Tour. 9-time Diamond certified and 16-time Grammy Award nominated phenomenon, Post Malone. His biggest headline tour, live at SoFi Stadium June 19th. Global superstar Post Malone with Jelly Roll and special guests Wyatt Flores and Chandler Walters. Get Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
It's F-It Friday!
Oh, Scott Kaplan, Chris Morales coming up after we are done. Cappy, we've been trying to figure out, are you guys having a sleepover down there? What's going on?
Gosh, I hope so.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Ew.
It was right, Queen. It was right. There is a sleepover happening. It's with me and my lady.
Can I join in?
Chris,
I mean, you guys don't mind extras
Is that
sometimes.
your nickname for Morales these days?
Chris was not invited to this sleepover. Brian Kamenetzky, who, by the way,
Rachel would
Marcus
Never stopped him before.
Marcus,
Yes?
I mean,
What if I had DeAndre with me? You think maybe I can get in that way?
no, you and DeAndre can share the back bedroom. You know, you guys can share the downstairs.
DeAndre's probably like, why am I being included in this?
He would love
Because
that.
deep down he wants to, just for a few minutes.
You don't want no part of this, D. You don't want no part. Marcus, there's been a lot of talk here recently about the softball team that I drafted.
Yes.
You're on my team.
Yes.
How does that make you feel, Marcus Grant?
You know what? I'm here to do my part to help the ball club. I'm gonna take it one game at a time and just stay within myself to help this club win.
And Brian Kamenetzky, they promote him like he's freaking A-Rod.
Oh, no. There's a lot of BK love. A lot more than AK.
Well,
BK,
right.
BK, why is it that you and Andy, why are you and Andy so like different athletically? I mean, everybody's telling me how great you are, and all I remember is you tearing your hamstring last time we played.
No, it was not great. But Andy almost got hit in the head trying to catch a pop-up. I would say it's not so. I mean, I grew up playing baseball, so like a decent baseball player and all that. It's not so much that I'm really good as it is Andy's really bad.
Ah, okay.
So I think it's more like in that sort of reflected non-glory that Andy puts out. Like I look pretty good in comparison. So you definitely drafted the wrong Kamenetzky.
I was gonna say, Cappy, we do want to know like what your thought process was when you were constructing this roster.
Well, my thought process was, I know that DeAndre's not really a softball player. Athlete, yes.
Yeah, but he's got length.
He's length.
And Brian Cohen's got girth.
Okay, so you got
right.
you got length and girth on the same team.
Stop trying to invite people to your sleepover.
But I know.
I don't know if BC could handle a sleepover. You think BC you could roll with a sleepover with us?
No, it's too much for me.
Yeah. It's too much for me too, BC. I know that DeAndre is an athlete, but I know that DeAndre is not a softball player. I know DeMarco Farr was an athlete, but he's a one-trick pony football player, not a softball player. So you see, everybody thinks that team on the other side, Marcus, is so good because they've got DeAndre and they've got Kirk. And Kirk was good one year, but not since. And they think DeMarco's good because he's a former NFL player. He's not. And so I actually think, and I'm feeling very confident. I'm telling you right now, Marcus, we're going to win.
I believe, right? I'm here. I'm the new addition to the club. I'm just out here trying to make an impact, whichever way I can, Cappy.
And BK, you've got that look right now. That look that says your side, Team Mace, is going to mop the floor with Team Cap. That's what that look says to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's basically right.
Cappy, they're overconfident.
Oh, they are. Listen, Mario Ruiz is the best all-around player, okay?
Hey.
Hey, I'm ready to play some ball. Right now, was goody.
So ageless Mario Ruiz.
And in Beto's rankings, Mario is sober and fast, and we need a sober,
Unlike
fast
Beto.
guy. Right. Yeah. He's the opposite. Travis Rogers can play. Doesn't act like he cares, but he does. He's a baller.
Oh, he cares so much.
And he's in playing shape right now. Like,
Yeah, man.
You're not
good.
getting the Travis Rogers of 3 or 4 years ago.
He's
You're
fit.
getting
Right.
lean and mean. We want
Right.
Luka to do what Travis has done.
And then Ramona is a former college softball player.
This is true.
So I would put up our top 4 against Team Mason's
But here's
top
the
4.
thing. Here's the thing. She was a former college softball player like a long time ago.
I understand, but she knows the game.
Okay.
I mean, look,
Doesn't
none
mean
of
she can play the game.
none of us
She
are
knows the
doing
game.
none of us are doing this for a living right now, Morales. Like, we're all
No,
we're
but
all
DeAndre could do this for a living.
cosplaying as athletes right now.
Well, I'm going to cosplay tonight, but that's neither here nor there.
Gross.
It's not gross when it's love.
Wait, Laura, we did have some news on Kasim, right? Like we had
Oh,
we
that
had
is
an update,
that is
right?
right. So
Oh, my
somebody
God.
hit me up on Instagram. Let me
Here we
find
go
the
with this guy.
message. Okay.
DeAndre has
And
thoughts.
somebody said, I went to college with Kasim.
Oh, boy.
He was our sideline reporter for women's basketball games. And I won't say who he is because, I'll out him out. He said, I've never seen him swing a bat, but the man does have a high, and he capitalized all of that, sports IQ. He's also athletic and has a far wild card. And as far as the wild cards go, he is the best wild card that Kaplan can have on his team.
Yeah.
So now you got Kasim.
Right.
So he says that Kasim might be your winning star.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel
I
like
don't know
Kasim
about that,
was,
but,
That brother
Kasim
can't
was an
ball.
unknown.
Wow.
No, that brother can ball. That brother can ball.
Let me tell you
No,
something.
DeAndre, that brother can ball.
He can't ball.
That brother. Hey, DeAndre, I'm going to talk to that brother like a father right now. Like a father. That brother can ball.
I do love the idea of Cappy like being some sort of like genius scout though, who's just like uncovering talent in
Sir,
the weeds.
I know you're on his team, but no. Like, it's not happening. We are destroying your team.
It's all based on the analytics.
But the whole thing is the queen does a lot of talking.
I
She
know, and I
doesn't
don't do a lot of playing.
Right.
Yes,
She doesn't do a
but
lot
that's
of
what
playing.
I do. I hype up, and the teams
You know
that I'm
what?
on win.
It's a good position to be in though, right?
saying.
Like it's a good spot to be in where you get to sort of
You don't play a lot, Cap, either. And
indulge in the spoils without actually having to, do the work.
An underrated aspect of all of this to me is how comfortable Brian Cohen is with being Mason's first pick. He's like, absolutely, I should have been.
Don't
the
you
top
feel a lot
pick
of
there.
pressure, BC?
I mean, it should be. There's some pressure involved in that, right? Like, you got to live up to expectations if you're going to be the one overall.
I'm the chosen one. No pressure at all.
The chosen one.
Dang.
Really?
The kid can play.
Ooh.
I mean, he did impress.
Last year at third base.
I give him
Now,
his credit.
I've heard he can swing a big bat. Can he pick it?
Oh,
over
he's
at
got a
third?
big bat. The kid's got a big bat. There's no doubt
He
about that.
does?
He said,
Oh, yeah.
No, he does not have a big bat.
Yeah, he does.
No, he does not. Little bat.
If he gets around on one, you're going to feel it.
Marcus, tell me this. Where should I, as the manager of this club, where should I play you? Where are your skills best suited?
I mean, for a long time, I was a middle infielder, second base, shortstop. I can play the outfield. Wherever you need me to fill a spot.
He's your Kike Hernandez.
I am. I don't know how good I can pitch, but like Kike, I'll stand on the mound.
Wait a second.
I'll stand in the circle and and toss a few up there.
But when you say you played second base and shortstop, where and when was this?
I mean, Little League.
We just called Cappy and I were just part of a Little League broadcast, so we understand.
Yeah, we understand talent, especially when it's just up and coming. So you didn't play high school baseball or anything?
I played while I was high school age. I did not play for my high school. I played
Okay.
like pony league ball and
Got
stuff
it, but
like
second
that. Yeah.
base and shortstop, though.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I mean, those are middle infield positions. You're a good guy to have.
Yeah.
Especially, you know where this game is won and lost?
Where's that?
In the outfield.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if you can't make a routine catch, your team is screwed. I could see you either in center field, and most everybody swings right-handed. Everybody's a righty.
Mm-hmm.
I could see you out in left field, too. Because we got to have somebody who can make plays out there.
You need somebody who's got some range and a decent glove out in left field. That's
Right.
important.
Yeah, second base not as important in softball. Now, Mario will play short, and Mario can cover short and second. No, he's that fast. Seriously.
He's a fast little guy.
That little brother is fast.
Now, meanwhile, I know, do you want to stretch the softball game the whole segment, or can we
No,
do a
feel
little
free.
sports?
Feel free.
Because Brian Kamenetzky's in there. He knows Lakers.
Okay.
And it's not often we have somebody who actually can talk Lakers in for Super Crosstalk.
Okay, got it.
Other than Sedano screaming at us that we don't know.
By the way, we apparently have more insight on Kasim. If you guys,
Hey man, we got some more.
How about we do just a
insight.
hair of sports here
Hey,
for
man.
a second, and
Hey,
then we'll
man.
get to the Kasim content.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, Brian Kamenetzky, when you watch the NBA Finals,
yes,
as a man who hosts, what is it, the Lost on Lakers podcast?
Not Lost on.
What is
Not
it?
Lost on.
What is it?
Locked on.
Featured at the Hollywood Bowl, as Emily pointed out earlier today.
What do you mean featured at the Hollywood Bowl?
People in the control room at the Hollywood Bowl watching our podcast.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Wow. Hey,
I love that.
How about that?
Instead of Mumford and Sons, they're watching us.
Oh, beautiful. Is there any chance that you look at these two teams and you think, the Lakers could actually compete in a series for the NBA Finals with these two teams?
Absolutely not. Although I will say the only team Indiana seemed to lose to after the first of the year was the Lakers. But no, these teams are so much more athletic, have so much more defensive ability, so many more two-way players. The Lakers would be run out of the building.
Okay. And Brian, do you think that there's any way that the Lakers can put together a roster that can compete with these two teams, not in a few years, this upcoming season?
It is going to be tricky. You see, the problem with the Lakers is they are in a position where they can sort of improve their depth. They can improve their, sort of frontline athleticism and things like that. But it's hard for them to do multiple things at one time because they don't have a lot to trade. If you trade away Austin Reeves, you got to kind of fill in that spot. Like, you don't have any draft picks. You don't have a ton of really good young players that would be exciting to another team. You got Dalton Connect, and that's basically it. Like, they don't have a lot of stuff, so they got to be really careful. They will still have LeBron. They will still have Luka. They presumably will still have AR, so they won't be bad.
And they got Bronny. How do you not mention Bronny?
Right. Actually, Bronny, low-key, for a 55th pick last year, had a perfectly good development year.
Don't do it.
He's fine. But, no, I'm not counting on Bronny.
You're not counting on Bronny next year?
No, I'm not.
Wow. Downplaying Bronny.
But, Bronny is probably the second best athlete on the team.
Behind who?
I mean, I think most people would put Rui or maybe his dad.
Where is Luka on that list in his bag of chips?
As a pure athlete, lower, but he's always been that way. But
right.
that's where this team is. Like, they need some stuff, but they're not going to be bad because if you have Luka and LeBron and Reeves, you're too good to be bad.
Yeah. See that goodness? That's why you need to watch and listen to the Lost on Lakers podcast.
Lost on.
What is it? Locked on Lakers.
I wasn't sure what the quota is here.
Hey guys, it's Friday the 13th. Do you guys have any superstitions?
Chrissy?
Well, I think Cappy is worried about having to do real content, especially with me here.
Right.
Because I'm not like his safety blanket like Sedano is, although we're going to have Sedano in the first hour. So that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. Here's the thing. I used to have superstitions, but once you almost die, I don't know if you guys know that, 3:13 p.m., by the way, you kind of don't worry about that anymore because it was real. It was right there. So
sort of
Marcus,
brought the whole
right
thing
on the
down.
doorstep. He was on the doorstep of death, Marcus.
Exactly.
The man in the black pajamas.
You lose all your superstitions.
Worthy bleeping adversary.
Kind of, yeah. But I want to get to this. Say your superstitions. Then I want this Kasim update.
Oh yeah,
what is the Kasim update? I want the Kasim update as well.
So apparently there's footage of him hitting in the batting cages in last year's All-Star Friday night. And he didn't look too good in the batting cages swinging that bat, man.
Really? Didn't look good at all.
I mean, we need to get him a lighter bat.
There's some footage. I'm just saying.
He could be sandbagging. You don't know that.
Maybe he needs a lighter bat. That's all.
A long play. To sandbag last year's
you want to put your best stuff on tape because you don't want the opponent seeing what you got.
That is true.
Wait, I've never, to Funch's point, I've never heard anyone sandbag at the batting cages.
I mean, DeAndre, I'm going to go look back at the film that we shot of you last year at the batting cage.
I mean, here's the thing.
That's fine.
If he has a
that's
high,
fine. Go pull up that footage.
If he has a high sports IQ, like he's smart enough to know. Like I'm just gonna put that on film for you, fellas. Enjoy your sleepover.
Oh, we're going
no
to
sleepover.
No, we're gonna sleep over. It's gonna be deep and long.
There's gonna be some snuggles.
No snuggles.
BK,
snuggling.
BK, I think we redeemed ourselves.
I brought the
from
dude
our last
wipes.
time, too.
No
I brought the dude wipes, Cappy.
Thanks to Laura. Thanks everybody. You guys go figure out what you're doing. Everybody enjoy the weekend. Dodgers and Giants coming up this weekend as well. Should be a lot of fun. Back with you. Well, I guess Mason Ireland back with you next Monday?
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Can you guys fill in for them on Monday?
I'm not here. Anyway, we're done. See you.